Hey yo, what's good, y'all? Hello, hello. How's it going? Welcome in, everybody. Hope everyone's having a good Tuesday, a good week so far. How are we all doing? Kind of hyped for today's stream. Uh, do we have the shared chat enabled yet, or hold on, let me open a thing. Let me check. This is like the second time that I'm using this feature. Hey, there we go. There it is. All right. Excellent. All right. Well, I guess with the shared chat all set up and everything, I suppose that it is time to just get started, huh? Let's do it. Let's do it. I'll call Fox and oh my god! Is that my bestie Maple? Hi, bestie. Hello, hi. Welcome home. Hope you had an amazing trip. I gotta catch up with you whenever you got some time and, you're over your jet lag and such. I hope you had an amazing trip. All right. Yeah, let's go and connect with Fox, with Vixie. We'll get in there. And I am excited to hear everyone's horror stories. I got a couple of good ones myself too. All right, let's get in there.
Oh, let me
Oh,
get you situated. All right, I should be able to hear you now.
hello, hi.
Hello. Hi, hi.
How's it going?
It is going very well. Let me get you on the screen. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good. I've been looking forward to this for ever since we set it up.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Yeah, I set the mood. I got my campfire going. I got some horror music in the background.
Oh, I don't have a horror mood like that, but I was just gonna put on I was probably just gonna put on like Dual Lives in the background, so we've got some jingling keys for anyone who needs like a visual while we're doing it. In fact, let me swap over to that scene real quick before we get started.
Oh, good. Hold on. Apparently you're a little quiet. Let me turn you up a little bit. Probably at my end. How do I do this on Discord? Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. 100%. Hello, hello. I am doing well. Yeah, I was just chatting with chat before we got started that I used to live at my local game store. So, I have a lot of stories.
Nice. Yeah, I was saying I got a couple myself. I got a couple in the tank ready to go. Yeah.
All right. Well, I will say there were two of them. And I'm not here to call anyone out. But there was a bit of a misunderstanding with someone.
Oh?
We posted some we have some creative writers in chat. So we had some fictional stories, or at least they were very creatively written in like a narrative.
Oh, okay.
And like a horror, like like a narrative horror story. So
that's I'm down to get some non-fiction. Wait, no. Fiction. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
I hope they're
yeah.
nonfiction.
We were hoping for non-fiction, but I'm down to incorporate a little bit of fiction. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
It'll be based in reality, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully. So, do you have access? You should have access to the form, right?
You sent
Or do
me
you need me to share?
the link to the form. I don't know if I can see the back end of it though. Let me
Okay.
see. Let
Let's
me double check.
see.
Wait. Now I just no.
Yeah, I should have you as an editor
Oh, okay. All right. Hold on.
through
Let
your
me.
Gmail.
That's right. I should be able to just get to it from Google Drive, right?
Yes, you should. Or Google, yeah, Google Drive. Google Drive should work. How can you tell it was fiction? Did they summon the actual Blue Eyes White Dragon? It starts with Miguel laugh. But you're here. You're talking to me. So it's written narratively. Which
Okay. All right, I got it.
if you need me to
I'm
okay, got
ready.
it. Cool. Okay, I was gonna say if you need me to share my screen, I can share my screen too. So totally up to you. We could start with the narrative stories, or we could save them till the end. I am totally fine with whatever.
Uh, we could go whichever order. Do you maybe want to start off with a story of your own to like
I
get us
would
into the
love
mood?
to.
Yeah.
I would love to. All right, okay. How dark we would dark is a strong word. Dark isn't exactly the word I mean. How messed up do we want to go? Because I have varying degrees of messed up things that have happened at my local game store.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a couple of doozies. I was gonna, read the room and and see it.
You know what? Totally fair.
Like
I'll
how
start off a
things
little light
escalate.
then.
Yeah,
I'll start off a
let's
little
start
light
light, and then when we get a little bit into it, then we can maybe turn up the heat a little bit.
Oh, where do I begin? So I mentioned that I used to like live at my local card shop, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I was that person that would go to the card shop at like 3 o'clock and stay until like 11. Because like I was talking to chat, I didn't drive at the time, so my mom or one of my friends would drop me off, and I would just stay there until somebody would come and pick me up later or drive me home. So I would just sit there and I would just bother the poor employees for like their entire shifts. And I would ask them about cards. I would ask them like what they were doing. I remember I tried to like submit applications and they never went through. I never knew why.
Oh,
What
that's
a weird
unfortunate.
coincidence. It probably ended up being for the better though. Because the card shop changed hands quite a few times, but it was all in good fun, and I made good friends, and that was the most important part.
That's really cool.
What about you? Do you have any good stories?
I do have a lot of good stories. I was thinking of like what would be an appropriate one to like tell first, and I realized that a lot of my stories involve the same person.
Oh no!
There was a serial like horror story type of guy at some of the places that I used to frequent. So I guess I'll start with one of them. So this was back when I played Pokemon TCG very avidly, very competitively. And this was not technically like a locals story per se, but it was it was a story that happened while on like the tournament grind, So I had like my friend group that would go to tournaments and we would hang out, play the tournament, get some food after. It was a great time. But there was this one dude who was also sort of like on the tournament grind. But he was he was like the most like sleazy, like rule sharky type of guy. Like no one fucked with this guy.
Right.
Like it was like man, I love going to these card game events and hanging out with my friends and like playing some great games and winning prizes and stuff, but I just know that there is a high likelihood that that guy is gonna be there.
Oh yeah, that guy.
And so I never really had like a problem with the guy per se, but I always like looked out for like his shenanigans, right? I would never like let this guy pull one over on me or anything like that, and I'm pretty sure by the end of like my competitive career, I'm pretty sure I had like an almost perfect win rate against this guy.
Oh my god!
I think I only ever lost to him in Pokemon TCG one time, and it was with like the worst possible matchup for whatever I was playing at the time.
Oh,
so I was just like, whatever, it's fine. Anyway, so I never had a problem with this guy, but one of my friends, they would always go like super head to head. They never saw eye to eye. They pretty much hated each other. And so this story takes place at I don't know if it was like a regional or something, but it happened at a local game store. So I guess this counts for the prompt, right?
Yeah.
This happened at like a competitive event that happened at a locals, and I was there with my friends, and this dude was here too. We should probably like come up with fake names for like.
Okay, yeah. Probably. To be honest, it's been so long for me. I don't think I remember any of their names.
Oh, okay. Well, I still I remember this guy's name super well.
Albaz.
Yeah. Let's go with that. This is Albaz. So Albaz was there. And I think it was in between rounds. And there was like one like bathroom stall for this locals.
Oh god. Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. There was literally one bathroom stall. It was unisex. You just had to like, suck it up and,
Yeah, like a gas station bathroom.
Yeah,
or like
exactly.
I know exactly what you mean. Because my car stop was like the same way. One bathroom, one door.
Yeah, most locals are pretty much that. Like if they have a bathroom, it's probably just like one. Maybe if you're lucky, they have like two, and they're gendered.
Right.
But anyway,
yeah.
So there was a line to use the facilities, and as it turns out, the line was ordered such that Albaz was right in front of my friend who did not get along with him. And I don't know why he thought this would be a good idea, but Albaz went into the single stall bathroom. Came out a couple minutes later, and as he came out and walked past my friend, he went, all yours. And
oh no.
Apparently my friend walked in and there was piss everywhere.
Oh my
Anywhere
God.
there was not meant to be piss, there was you could find some. I don't know what possessed the guy to like make the bathroom uninhabitable for like whoever came next, just to spite my friend. But it was not a good idea because he immediately got reported to the staff.
Oh yeah,
and was kicked out. I think he was like undefeated in the tournament at that point, like 3-0 or 4-0, and they were like, "No, get out. You're done. You're absolutely out of here." Because like, who else would it have been, right? Who'd done that? I don't know if he was like, I like trying to like pin it on my friend or something like that, but like,
who would fall for that?
Right? Like it was so stupid.
That is so stupid. But how big was this bathroom?
Like it was, like the size of a disabled stall in like a regular, like, bathroom. It was basically like that.
Yeah. How did he have so much piss?
Dude, I don't know. But yeah, so like that was probably one of like the worst things that he's ever done, potentially. But I have a lot of stories about Albaz over the years.
Oh, don't worry.
Yeah, we'll
so
get
the
to
thing
them,
is,
I
I
think.
don't know if I have any of that guy's stories, and we'll get to chat stories after. So I don't know if I can one up that one. So, but I'll have more stories. I'll have more stories. Chat knows some of them, but I'm always happy to share more. All right, you ready to get started with the form?
I am super ready. Let's go for it. What number are we
All
starting
right.
on?
So I don't know how they are numbered for you. So it should be an individual 1 through 13.
Yeah. It's just loaded number 1, which is a very short one, it looks like.
Yeah, we could, if you want to read number 1, we can just start there since it's so short, and then we can talk about it.
Okay. All right. So here's our first chat submitted story. It's a very short one. It simply says, one time at the shop, 2 guys got into a fight over some ruling. Fists started flying. I snuck in, took their decks, and pretended to be reading a comic. What?
You know what? I think I know exactly who this is.
I need like a chapter 2. Like, what happened? Like,
what decks
did they find
playing?
out that their decks were missing, or like?
What? I knew it. I knew it was you, Iron Wolf. Who else would steal the decks?
What happened?
Oh, this is a confessional.
I mean, we could definitely do confessionals too. Like, it's totally fine.
Oh,
we just wanted the drama.
Crazy. Black Wings and Dark Wolves. What year was this?
Oh,
my god!
That sounds like it could be like 2009.
Anytime,
like a little bit before Edison, perhaps. I guess it could be 2022 or 2023. Those decks are still playable.
Crazy. That's insane. Have you ever had someone steal cards from the card shop or steal decks?
Ooh, I remember a couple of instances of that, and it was always Yu-Gi-Oh. It was always Yu-Gi-Oh. And it was never like I've never Pokemon, never any other game that I have been there for. It was always for Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't know what it is about like Yu-Gi-Oh players that like I don't know, like encourages that behavior in some people, but like I don't know, like survivor bias, I guess, but like I've never had like a cards go missing in any other like games context, you know?
They just passed the statute of limitations. Oh my god. So I don't have I don't know any stories of cards getting stolen, but I have a magic story.
Oh, okay.
So I've told chat the story a couple times. I have the card on screen right now. When I was in high school, I bought a very expensive magic card. It was a land because all the money in magic cards goes into the lands. It was called Gaia's Cradle, and I bought it for like $300 at the time.
Oh,
and it was damaged.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot of money, especially for a college student. Working at Papa John's to buy my Gaia's Cradle for my squirrel deck that I never ended up playing. So I was like, okay, this Gaia's Cradle. And Graham was telling her magic story again. I am telling my magic story again, and you're gonna like it. I was like, okay, I have this Gaia's Cradle. It's just sitting around. I'm not gonna keep it. So everyone's got their trade binders, so I'm gonna trade it away. And so I decided to trade away my Gaia's Cradle for a couple cards, because no one else at the card shop is going to bring in a $300 card to trade. Right. So I didn't really get an equal value. But I knew this guy who always had a lot of cards, and he was kind of the talk of the store, because everyone was like, oh yeah, that guy's really wealthy. Do you know he lives in like a gated community? And like, he just makes boatloads of money off cards. So he just has so many really good, expensive cards.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, oh, maybe he's got good trades. And so I traded a couple things with him. And one of them was, so I traded Gaia's Cradle for a couple other sorceries, a couple other spells and stuff like that. And then I traded it for Scrubland, which was another land that was really good for my commander deck. And it ended up, it wasn't of an equal value by any means. I think at the time he told me the card's value was about $100, so that was about a third of my trade value.
All right.
I remember showing, because I remember I lived at my card shop. I remember showing one of the employees, who was my really good friend, the card, and he was like, "This is fake.
What?
This Scrubland is fake. This is not a real card."
Oh no!
And the worst part is, I never saw the guy who traded it for me.
Oh
again.
no!
He disappeared, and I still have that Scrubland. You can hear it. It feels like it's made of plastic. So, that's my Scrubland story.
Oh, that is tragic.
I definitely think he knew it was fake. I don't think it was an honest
a
mistake.
convincing fake, or
Yeah, so the only way that I was convinced that it was fake is it has a gloss to it that Magic cards don't have, because Magic cards usually matte.
Right.
But the card itself looks like a Magic card. It feels almost exactly like a Magic card, but it's a little bit stiffer, it's a little bit thicker, and it's a little glossier.
Wow.
So
that it sucks. Yep. I'm sorry.
I mean, I was like 15, 16 years old at the time too, so that really sucked. I should get it graded. Oh my god.
I wonder what they would say about that. I don't know how grading companies take they would obviously know, right?
Yeah, you would think. The thing is too is to be fair, I never got a second opinion. So it is possible that it's not fake, but I have never felt another card, any card game that feels like this. I can't even really, it almost feels like a driver's license.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gotta be fake. If the card stock is completely different, that's
yeah,
it's probably likely.
It bends pretty similarly to a Magic card, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. It could have been a proxy. You know what's crazy? So that Gaea's Cradle, by the way, guess how much it's worth now? Damaged.
Oh, I'm assuming more than 300.
800.
Oh no. Oh, that's I feel your pain.
Yeah, so yeah, it was really, really unfortunate. I bought it on one of those card selling stores, and I knew it was damaged coming in, but even damaged, heavily played, not it wasn't torn or anything, it was still playable, but I remember
just a little scuffed up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the borders were peeling, there was white on the borders. But it was playable. But yeah, $800, $760, pretty close. Do you think his backstory was fake as well, being wealthy and coming from a gated community? I don't actually think so.
Oh man, that would actually be crazy if he was actually setting up his own sort of backstory to back up these bogus deals he was making with people.
You know, that is honestly possible. You held the judge promo of Gaea's Cradle before? So I do actually have I got a proxy of Gaea's Cradle. It's an official proxy, which is really interesting. I don't know if Yu-Gi-Oh! Or any other card game does official proxies. But I have an official proxy of Gaea's Cradle. I think it's from a tournament or something. But that's what I used to replace my old Gaea's Cradle, because I said, guess what? I still wanted to use the damn card. So he scouted it. Oh god, could you imagine if he was watching me I know she's gonna be dumb about trading away her cards. I've seen how clueless she is about trading away her cards.
Oh my
but yeah, that was
you got heisted.
I did. I actually did. And then the fact that he never showed up ever again. I think he got kicked out or I scared him off. I'm not sure. I hope I scared him off, but again, I was 15, 16 years old. I highly doubt it was me. But
man, yeah, I am sorry. That really sucks.
You know what? It's okay. You live and you learn. I
The
was
Walter White of Magic.
Oh
Oh my
my God.
god.
Yeah, here's my promo, or not my promo. It is the Magic the Gathering DCI 1999 World Championships Tokyo proxy. Guy's Cradle.
Oh, so it's like a worlds like promo type thing.
Yeah, so it's a gold bordered card, so it's not official. You can't use
Oh,
this in an actual tournament.
I see.
So I guess
Yeah,
it's not
okay.
necessarily a proxy. It's
Yeah,
like a I don't
they have that in Pokemon.
know.
Usually like every year 4 decks that did well at the previous year's World Championships,
Mm-hmm.
they get printed in like non-tournament legal versions for like $10, and then you can just
Oh,
like buy the entire deck and play it.
that is really cool. You know what Magic used to do? I don't know. I think they still do it. The like World Championship winner gets printed on a card.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if they still
Yeah.
do it. I heard of that though. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think it's really cool too. It's really fun to watch to see the way it's all changed, like original cards, how the card art has changed and all that jazz.
Mm.
Yeah, because they just have it's like their faces on a regular card. Insane. All right, you ready for the next story?
Yeah, let's do it. Story number 2.
All right. All right, I will read this one.
Oh,
This is a
this
little
is a
long.
long one compared to the first. All right, let's do it.
Oh boy. Oh, this one is a doozy, chat. All right, here we go. So we have a TLDR, which is my locals is on a permanent hiatus because the guy running it was gaming the system to let the underage girls he was dating always win.
What the fuck? Okay.
Ah, okay.
I have several comments about that sentence.
All right, let's get into it. The card shop I was going to had locals twice a week. One was for Edison, and the other was current format. The manager who ran the shop is a fat, bearded guy, all right, in his 30s, who used to be in a local rock band until he ran out of money and took over running the store from his relative. All right, cool. He is generally unlikable, less cool, and will insert himself into random conversations to make unfunny sex jokes / comments all the time. But he's at the counter. Everybody ignores it.
I know the type. I know the
Yeah,
type.
I had managers like that. Let's see. So the two teenagers, fantastic, mentioned at the start of this are the only girls that visit this place on a regular basis. Oh, that's already a bad sign.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's not good. Okay, all right.
Both are in high school and will play in every locals tournament, winning pretty much every time. We all knew that someone was bankrolling these girls' decks because they would have full-powered Fiendsmith and Fire King, so this is recent. Or
Yeah,
a constructed 10
wow.
pie deck ripped from the latest YCS. What we did not expect was that it was the creep at the counter.
Okay. I mean, like technically there's nothing wrong with that. Like there's nothing wrong with people like taking good decks and like playing them in a tournament, but I'm assuming this is like a detail that will like expand in a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Before I continue, what is your take on having like someone get boosted by given a deck by the store owner who hosts the event?
I mean, I personally don't have any problem with it. Like,
that's fair.
I don't have any problem with people playing strong decks. Like, that's kind of what I'm there at locals for, is to play games. So
yeah,
you know,
I mean,
like,
I guess
if they're like the alternative is that they were gonna play like a, I don't know, like a structure deck or something, then I would rather them have like a more competent deck, because like even with like a YCS topping deck list, it's still down to the player to play it well, right?
Yeah, that is very true. So they were talented enough to pilot them, at least. That does mean something.
Yeah, like I personally, I don't believe that like price should be like a gatekeeper for people doing
Oh.
well at tournaments.
I completely
Because
agree.
it should be more down to like the player skill. That's my
I
opinion.
completely agree. I think the weird part to me is, especially if there's like prizing, and he's the one like giving them the decks. Well, let's continue the story before we make full judgments.
Yeah.
Okay. About a month ago, the girls went at a table and got in a massive fight with each other, yelling, hair pulling, the whole bit. One was mad that the other was about to win when it was her week. After the girls were separated, they were still yelling at each other. Through these rants made from across the store, it was revealed that the manager had been secretly dating both of them at the same time. He would pay for anything they wanted: food, necklaces, gotcha pulls, and even Yu-Gi-Oh cards. He was essentially being a sugar daddy to them, and they knew it. But even though both girls knew that he was two-timing, they believed that they were liked more than the other.
Oh my god.
What?
What?
This guy is in his 30s, by
And
the
these
way.
are high school age?
High school girls,
Oh
yes.
god. Oh god. What the hell, man?
As part of their relationship, the manager arranged to set them up to win a tournament every week. The scene at the shop is fairly low powered. Okay, so this answers the question. Because all of us guys are relatively poor and are working with less than. Oh, wait, but that sucks.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a different story. That's some much needed context for sure.
Yeah. So, are working with less than rogue decks. The brackets are also determined beforehand by the manager, who would set them up with opponents that could not beat their deck that week. Each girl would win their respective week and then trade off for the next week. But because the two ended up getting matched with each other this time, they both wanted to win.
It all falls apart.
Things fall apart. Oh my god. Last paragraph. Now, Yu-Gi-Oh is a pretty expensive hobby, and the manager was already paying for these girls outside of the shop. So the rest of us wondered how he was getting the money. Oh no. Thank God. As of last week, he was arrested for theft, wire fraud, and solicitation. He was stealing both cards and money from the store to fund this lifestyle, coaching the girls on how to win, and trading gifts for sexting sessions. Oh my god!
Oh my god! What?
Since that cat fight a month ago, I haven't gone back. Good for you. Good for you. I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
I heard from one of my friends.
A good idea.
That the manager's location has come back to take over both locations, but all tournaments are gone from the calendar.
My god.
Ooh.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like halfway through, I was just like, are we sure that this is a real story? This sounds fake. There's no way a card shop owner has enough money to, because I don't know if you guys know, but like card shop like owners do not make that much like off the top, you know?
Yeah, you are constantly working at a loss.
Yeah, it's a very low margin business to be in. So I was like, there's no way this guy has enough money to be like sugar daddying one girl, let alone two. But I guess now we know how he was doing that. Yeah,
very, very true. That is crazy, man. I have adjacent stories, but I don't necessarily have like horror stories that are like this. This is crazy. Like I know another person I've talked about on stream. I have a couple guys, not that guys, but basically that guys. There's one guy I used to play Magic with. He was the one who introduced me to Magic, of all things. Let's call him. Oh, I don't know. Chat, give me a name. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at names. I was like, I don't want to call him Kaiba because he's not Kaiba. But Bob, sure, we'll call him Bob. That's the worst thing ever. Chat, you don't know why that's the worst. Okay, I'll tell you why that's the worst thing ever. He told me his name was Bob, or no, it was Steve. That's right. He told me his name was Steve when we first met.
Like Minecraft.
His name was not Steve. He lied about his name.
When he lied about being called Steve.
I'm dead serious. He introduced himself to everyone named Steve. And the reason why I'm bringing this guy up, besides the fact they introduced me to magic, because for this story, I'm reminded now, Steve, as we'll call him, was a massive pathological liar. So I don't know how much of this is true. But he would very frequently steal money to buy cards. And apparently he found a local drug drop near his house and stole the money from that to buy cards.
Uh-oh. Oh, that is not something that you get involved in. Oh, no.
No. Absolutely not. Yeah, so, that's the story I was reminded of about this. I don't know if you have any criminal like that, but yeah. Definitely a dangerous game.
No, I don't.
Definitely a dangerous game.
I don't think I have known any game shop owners who were criminals. No.
Oh, so he wasn't even a game shop owner. He was just a customer.
Wait, what?
Yeah. He would just steal the money from the drug drops to buy cards from the card shop.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. My bad. I got my wires crossed from the story we read.
No, you're totally fine. You're totally fine. Oh my god. Ryu, welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. How are you? Welcome in. We're talking about criminal history and card shops. Apparently. I hope you had a lovely stream. Oh my god. Yeah, so that was a fun one. Do you have any anecdotes between the next story and this one?
Not really any that come to mind off of this one. This was nuts. Like,
this was nuts. So last thing that Steve did, because my card shop was right next to a gas station. So we would walk from the card shop to the gas station to pick up snacks. Mm-hmm. I had this friend who wasn't really into card shops, but I was introducing her to it, and I was like, "Yeah, this is my friend Steve. He's pretty cool." Because I didn't know how bad Steve was at this point. And so she was like, "Okay, yeah, cool. We can hang out at the card shop. You can teach me how to play Magic or whatever." And so we went to the gas station, and we came back, and I was talking to my friend, and I was like, so random name, Lisa, how'd you like Steve? And she was like, "Yeah, he seems pretty cool. But I really didn't like that he stole a candy bar from the gas station."
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Adjacent card shop stuff. I grew up with some interesting people.
Sounds like it, yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, we have a chat story? My LGS is super crooked, but I was a kid, so I didn't notice. Oh, no. Judges were awful towards the regulars and the owner's son. Years later, the shop was closed because of tax evasion?
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Yeah. That's crazy. A girl at the locals that would come in and flirt with all the guys. She had 5 boyfriends and players. Ooh.
You know what? You know what? That's just impressive.
That many. I mean, honestly. Ah. All right. You ready for the next one?
Yeah. Let's go to the next one.
Oh, you should read this one. I know who submitted this one.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Our third submission. Hi Hasher, hi Vixie. Hi. Whoever this is, they are anonymous, so I don't know.
I know who it is.
Okay. Let me see if I can figure it out.
Maybe they'll reveal themselves.
All right. Summer 2024. Decided to take part in a Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG tournament as it's been ages since I took part in a real cardboard experience. It's hosted by a local hobby store that I've been to a couple of times before, all of them being tournaments. It's a Heart of the Underdog format too, that's basing its ban list on what got top 64 in the last YCS, which was, at the time, Snake Eyes, Fiendsmith, Yubel era. So, pretty recent then. Pretty recent.
Yeah, pretty recent. 2024.
Yeah, this is... Uh, what was this? This was mm, oh, I'm trying to think of like this must have been like spring 2024, right? Oh no, wait.
Mm.
You
Wait, I
know
think
what?
it's given.
Hey, we're both stupid because the literal first two words in this story are summer 2024.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm pretty sure it's in the message, but I was just letting it go.
I was like, I am going to detectivize this. I'm going to.
You're a detective.
I was
You're a
really,
super sleuth.
I really was trying to sleuth it out, but no, that was not necessary. Anyway, COVID boom warning happened 2 weeks prior, and everyone assumed the tournament wasn't happening. 5 days prior to the day, I got an email saying it's still going, but it's now a remote duel on Discord, and there were more ban list hits. I'm exposing my identity.
2024?
Yeah. I guess, were there like COVID scares in 2024?
I guess it depends on where you were.
I like personally, not anywhere I have been, but I don't know. Maybe there was like a pocket COVID boom in some places. I don't know. Where was I? I'm exposing my identity here, but I'd like to note that Vanquish and Punk were weirdly added to the list. That actually doesn't help me with the identity, but I'm assuming whoever this is plays Vanquish and Punk.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it doesn't really help me out, I'm gonna be honest. Rather than choose the third deck I'm known for everywhere, that funny all-girl Link deck that's blue.
Yeah? I don't know who that. I don't know what that might be.
Sky Striker? I guess. I decided to cook. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I think it's Marincess.
Oh, Marincess. Oh yeah, I guess they are water. That is blue. I was like, all girl Link deck that's blue. I was like, well, all Link cards are blue, so that's like not necessary information.
No, the girls are blue.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, Live Twin, one of the girls is blue, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
That's a Link deck. Anyway, I decided to, instead of playing this third deck, I decided to cook something stupid. Despia, Master of Oz Control. Let's just make a non-targetable 4,200 attack beat stick that keeps coming back thanks to Despia. That's based. That's super based.
Yeah.
Day of, everyone is in the Discord and mildly excited. Some were a little pissed about the organization, which is understandable, but participation nearly doubled in size. Here are the highlights. So it was 6 rounds Swiss. 4 of the 6 opponents were creepy and disgusting due to the judges having to bounce between calls to monitor. One guy asked if I did sexual favors to get my cards as I was rocking over $140 worth of staples. $140 worth of staples. I am just a card trader. What the fuck? I hate this. I hate this. I hate it when guys like ask like girls and like women like, oh, did your boyfriend build your deck for you?
Yeah.
Like, they don't realize how demeaning that is.
I think part of them
really
do.
Bad.
I think part of them does.
Maybe they do. Like I've had the same kind of thing happen to me. Oh my god. I just thought of this story as like, you know, I have an anecdote related to this. It's fucking Albaz again.
No! Of course it is!
Oh my god.
Every
time I think back on like, oh, I've got some stories from like going to card tournaments and stuff. Like 90% of them are with Albaz. Like what the fuck? Like my girlfriend at the time, she had a really off meta deck, but
Uh-huh.
it was something that she really wanted to play because it was like one of her favorite Pokemon.
Base.
It was Gourgeist, which was like not
Oh.
popular, but it was pretty rogue. Like it was actually like fairly well placed in the meta. Like no one really like tiered it or anything, but like it had some
Hmm.
kind of good matchups, you know. Um
Yeah.
and she I think she either like went up against Albaz or like was sitting at the same table as him for one of her rounds in this one tournament, and he goes, "Oh, did Hasher get that deck for you? Did he make that deck for you?" And he kept asking her, like even after like the first time of her saying, "No, I built this one." Um like I think he asked her like 2 or 3 times. Don't know why like you just don't take the first answer on that and just, you know, accept it. And then I played him in like a later round and he goes, "So, did you build the deck for your girlfriend?" And I'm like, "Bro, like
What
shut
the
the
heck?
fuck up." Oh my god. Yeah,
That
I
is
hate it.
crazy.
I really hate it. It's it's so like can you not like get it through your simple little mind that like someone with like someone who like isn't your gender can like be good at a card game. Like come on, dude.
Not possible. Not no, that is crazy. It's crazy because I actually never got that question. Maybe my decks are just really bad.
Maybe
I was like, wait.
I don't know. Maybe you just have an aura that commands respect.
Oh, I'm sure that's true, right? Chat, you agree? I command
Yeah, that
respect.
must be it for sure.
Yeah. I think you're right. Uh, to be
He
fair though, I
wa-
would play really casual formats, so I wasn't like entering tournaments for it. So
Yeah, maybe it's because like it's a more competitive setting. I don't know.
yeah, that's my thought.
Yeah. I like I mean I kind of like understand like where the question comes from in a way, like
Hmm.
you know, like I I taught her how to play and obviously like
Sure.
her like first deck or like her first 2 decks were built like mostly by me with like direction on like what she would like in a deck for sure. Like that's usually how these things go, right? And like I'm obviously on the tournament grind, and so sometimes like she'll come along. So she's only there because I'm there, you know? So I kind of get like where the question comes from, and you want
Mm.
to give him the benefit of the doubt of like, you know, it comes from like a place of innocence and just like curiosity, you hope. But like
Right.
after the first time, that's when you stop asking the question.
Yeah, well, I think it's one of those things where they probably kept asking over and over again,
Uh-huh.
hoping that she would crack and be like, "Oh, you got me. Yeah, Hasher built my deck. Isn't he so good at building decks?" When in reality, it's like, no, I built it. I
Exactly.
practiced with it. I
Yeah.
cooked it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just
That
I don't know.
maidenless behavior, as chat says. So
Mhm.
right.
Mhm. Like I I understand that the clientele of a lot of tournaments based on like nerdy card games are maybe going to be a little bit socially awkward on average. So, you know, you have to give them the benefit of the doubt, like, you know, maybe that it really is like their earnest attempt at like connecting with someone and like, you know, just trying to make conversation, you know, like, "Oh,
Mm.
like did your boyfriend make your deck?" But like,
Yeah, but if it was an innocent conversation making, it would be like, "Oh, did your boyfriend make your deck?" And you're like, "Oh no, I made it." And then it's like, "Your boyfriend made your deck," and it's like, "No, that's not
yeah,
how this
yeah.
works."
Like this one in particular, like he was just being like a creep about it, but like,
Yeah,
it's a very
sure.
common
There's definitely
question.
instances.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that I mean, it is a thing because it's like, yeah, I had guys that I was friends with that got me into certain things like Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic or D&D, like that kind of thing. Like that. That's not that unusual, especially because like I grew up not really in a lot of I guess male-dominated spaces, you could say.
Mm-hmm.
So like being introduced to that when I was a teenager, so it was like, yeah, I'm not typically like I wasn't typically in this sort of thing, but now I'm here and now I really enjoy it. But yeah, before then, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Oh, we are in the middle of like reading a story, by the way. We
yeah,
totally
yeah. We're ready to leave off, by the way.
we went on a total tangent there. Which let's touch on this again. One guy asked if I did sexual favors to get my cards.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
God.
That's like on a totally different level to what we were just talking about, by the way. Like,
absolutely.
That's insane.
Absolutely.
That's
hi, Tina.
Nuts. Oh, hi, Tina. I actually, I can't believe that. Like,
definitely not only story.
I don't know. I would not let that slide. I think I would have called a judge on that. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I would hope.
Apparently, there just wasn't enough judges for this tournament, from what they're saying. So I don't know.
I think it like as the responder shared, they were kind of suffering from withdrawals, right? It had been a long time since they got to play like cardboard. So wanting to play cardboard, you're willing to put up with a lot more than if you were like regularly playing, I feel.
Yeah. Like, I understand that. Like, you suck it up. You sometimes you just suck it up and you're just like, I gotta deal with this bullshit, but I'm here to have a good time, so I'll let it slide. But man, I don't know if I could have let that slide. That's disgusting. Like, you don't talk to other people like that. I'm sorry.
No, it doesn't matter who it is. That's just crazy.
Okay. Moving down the list.
Yeah, past that bomb.
Yeah, one guy spewed out some of the most sexist comments once he realized that he couldn't get over a 4,200 attack Master of Oz with Kashtira because I made it non-targetable. Said that I shouldn't be allowed to win because I was running shitty floodgates.
Oh my god.
Today I learned that Chaos Max is a floodgate. I mean, you know, any card that prevents me from being able to win the game is a floodgate when you think about it.
Yeah, and it's floodgating me from winning the game.
Yeah, like, you reducing my life points to 0 is a floodgate, because I could have win if you didn't. I like, if you didn't reduce my life points to 0, I could have played the game, and I could have won. So, what the fuck?
Yeah, so true.
But yeah, that's like, I understand, you know, being frustrated about floodgates. Like, I would say that for the most part, like the modern game for Yu-Gi-Oh right now, I think we're in the best place that we have been in terms of like floodgates for a long time. So, but there was a period where it was like really bad, and the like floodgates were like everywhere, and yeah, but no matter what, that's no reason to make sexist comments just because you're losing a card game.
No, absolutely is not.
Holy
absolutely
shit.
Is not.
Next
God.
thing. 4 players attempted to bribe wins, asking me to concede and be paid $30 to do so they could get the top cut pricing, which were the prizes were guaranteed if you top cut. The top prize was 3 boxes of the latest set. That's all you need to know on that.
Yeah, I'll trade you $30 for 3 full boxes.
Which way,
I'm sure
card
that's
game
equivalent.
player? $30
Yeah, would you-
or 3 booster boxes?
Would you like the Gaia's Cradle or the fake Scrubland?
Have you ever had someone try to bribe a win out of you?
No, to be fair, like I haven't played a lot of tournaments. I'm very actually. You know that Owner's tournament was the first tournament I ever played in.
Really?
Not counting like pre-releases for Magic.
Okay.
So I never play competitively. I was like, I'm here at the card shop. People would be like, hey, I have extra cards. I'm going to make you play Commander.
Okay.
Or, hey, I have an extra War Machine army. I'm going to make you play War Machine. So I had the privilege at my card shop of being one of the very few girls that went to the card shop.
Many such
cases. I will say, many such cases. I will say, I was given a lot of things for free.
Yep.
A lot of those things I still have, including like 10,000, not dollars. I wish it was dollar, but about 10,000 Magic cards. Because I had a friend who would open up boxes of Magic cards, and then he would give me all the commons and uncommons. So I just have like 10,000 Magic cards in my closet right now that probably aren't worth anything. The thing was, like, people talking about simping. They weren't even simping. It wasn't simping. They were literally just like, hey, you're brand new to the scene. I don't want this. Here you go. Or it was literally like, I don't have anyone to play with. You are here constantly. Please play with me.
Yeah. Like I get that. I think that is that's one of those things as well where, like, if a new player turns up to like an event at a card shop and you've just, like, you know, opened up like a bunch of product, and you can sort of like you kind of are able to get like a small sense of altruism by being like, here you are, new player, I bequeath you all of my bulk. And they're like, whoa, this is so many cards, thank you. And you're like, no problem, I didn't want them anyway. So it was actually no big deal.
No, that's the thing. It's like, I will say, the people saying like, oh, they were desperate and everything, they weren't. I can definitely tell when the guys in the card shop were interested in me, or when the guys in the card shop were literally like, hi, I don't want this. Take it off of my hands. And that was most of the cases. Or it's like, I have an entire War Machine army that I was given because the guy was like, hey, I don't want this. I really want more people to play War Machine because everyone at the card shop is playing Warhammer. Please take this RV and play with me. And then I moved away.
Oh, that sucks.
And then college happened. But so that was an interesting thing. But yeah, I was just like, it wasn't even like people being like, oh my god, if I give you cards, will you like go out with me? It was literally just, please take these off my hand. There's literally no one else new here. You are brand new to the scene. I don't want this like 3-foot high stack of commons and uncommons that the card shop will give me 50 cents for. Please just take them off my hands. And I was like, oh boy, Magic cards. And I probably played with none of them.
I mean, you say that they like might not be worth anything, but I mean, like, Magic has a ton of like eternal formats. Maybe some of the old like commons and uncommons might actually be good in some stuff. I don't know.
I think so. The thing about Magic cards is the way that the boosters are set up is there is draft fluff. Because Magic is made to draft.
Right, yeah.
So you have these cards that are really good or decent to draft or to put in a limited format, but just absolute dog shit bad if you try to put them in a constructed deck.
Got it, yeah.
So that's most of what I have.
So you basically you have a closet full of like grizzly bears.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh my god, we have to
Oh.
finish the story.
Right. I did want to say no one's ever like tried to bribe me for a win before, but I did have a very egregious case of someone asking me to like scoop to them. And this was at the World Championships for Pokemon TCG. It was like round 5 or 6 or something like that. And what was it? We were like 1-1 in games, and we were about to go to time, and the dude was just like, "Hey man, like we're gonna tie. Will you just give me the win? I have like a really good matchup here, and if we play this one out, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna win. So, and like a tie doesn't help like our match records. Like, would you consider just giving me the win?" And I'm just like, fuck no, are you kidding me? This is the World Championships. I'm not giving you the win.
God. No, okay. I missed the part where you said this was the World Championships. I thought this was locals.
Oh no,
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's not a local story. That's a world story. And then I was really pissed that he asked me like at the World Championships to like do him a solid, you know? Like I understand like, you know, like if it's a locals or whatever, like even at locals I probably wouldn't do it, but like say it was like I don't know, in like a qualifying tournament, like a regionals or something.
Yeah.
And the dude was just like, "Hey man, I'm like if I top cut this tournament, I get my qualification for like the world, like a world's invite, essentially. Like, would you consider like maybe just like conceding the game? Like, a tie doesn't like help either of us out. Like,
right?
You know, like."
Did the guy like offer you anything in exchange?
No, he didn't offer me anything for it. He was just like,
not even like, "Hey, I'll buy you some food."
He was like, "If we played this game out to completion, I'm pretty sure I would win." And I was just like, I don't know about that.
That's crazy because you were tied.
Yeah, like I had already won a game off of him, and like it, like the deck matchup was like maybe 60-40 in his favor, but I was also like teched for it. So like it was gonna be close. So I'm just like
you're able to side deck between like against his deck.
Yeah. Well, there's no side deck in Pokemon. Oh, there's no
Oh, you're playing Pokemon, so I missed that part.
Yeah.
I thought you were I was
yeah,
like,
if you tech for matchups, you have to main deck that shit.
I got you. That's crazy.
But yeah, like it was Worlds, so I was like really pissed. And then like a couple of months later, before the like the next season started, they updated the policy documents so that it is no longer acceptable to basically like ask for concessions. Like if you like try to solicit your opponent like giving you like the win or like you know, doing something like that, you can get DQ'd. So I was just like, damn, if that was like in place like a couple of months ago, I could have like walked away from that one with a win.
Oh man, that's crazy. Well, we should probably get back to
yeah, we should. We're not gonna like finish.
We're yap-maxing.
Yeah,
you know
we really
what?
are.
It's good.
No, that it is good. This is exactly what we're here for. All right,
exactly.
So, 4 players were attempting to bribe wins, so that's
right for the prize boxes.
Yeah, for the like first prize was 3 booster boxes. This is a crazy good tournament for like prize support, by the way. If that's for first place,
yeah, like that's also like a what was it? Jeez, oh, they did it over camera. Like it wasn't an in-person thing.
Right? Yeah, this is a remote duel.
That's the word I was looking for.
But wait, let me go back up. This is like a locals though. Is it a local? It's hosted by a local hobby store, but then it turned into a remote event, and then a whole bunch more people joined. So Okay, that's crazy. I've I've never heard of that before. Anyway, so Top Cut was held
Big locals. I
because
see.
people kept calling the judge for the same ruling. My Master of Oz and Aluber plus Theater of the Branded. It's a fusion monster. It all applies. All right. I mean, what was their argument? Like, it's not a fusion monster. Like, because it is. It totally is. Um, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that other than like I don't know, people are just being dicks at that point. Needless to say, in my stubborn and spiteful nature, I decide to roll up my sleeves and get a win out. It took the whole afternoon, and I was tired of the bullshit and honestly didn't want anyone to get first place after experiencing all that.
Fair.
So did you do it? It doesn't actually go into detail that you actually did win. I'm assuming yes.
I see. Get a win out, I assume.
Yeah,
and it took
I
the whole
so.
afternoon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like it's just how it's worded. Is like I decided I would get a win out. I'm just like, oh, okay. So did you do it?
I'm assuming from the next paragraph that would answer the question.
Okay. All right. Next paragraph. The week after that tournament, I found out that I was banned from that locals. Why? Because I was, quote, disruptive, antisocial, and regulars were complaining that I was very rude. Turns out, every single one of the creepy guys and the judges went crying to the owner that I was being mean, and Mr. 4,200 attack beatstick Floodgate was really good friends with them. Apparently, top cutting too often in their tournaments was too damaging to the regulars' tiny egos. I haven't gone to an IRL gathering since. At least I don't need to hear my opponent in Master Duel. True!
Oh, God.
True! Bro, can you imagine Master Duel with voice chat? That would be insane.
There's a reason there's not even like a post-game chat. They don't even have like the Hearthstone click on my picture and say hello.
Yeah, there's no way you can send a message to your opponent, like, at all, which is probably for the best.
Honestly.
Man, that sucks though. That's you're banned from the locals and you haven't been back to an IRL event. I'm sorry. That is really that just sucks.
Oh,
that is a pretty terrible experience.
I have a quick one.
Okay.
That reminded me of. So I haven't been to like an IRL event or even an IRL card shop in years because I moved cities for university. And when I went to the card shop, I was just getting into Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was like, hey, I'm looking to buy some Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. You guys have Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards? And no joke, I walk up to the counter asking for Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. And they go, we play Magic here.
Okay, dude. All right.
And I
know. So they didn't have Yu-Gi-Oh product or like what?
No, like, they actually didn't sell Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, that is one thing about where I'm located. Yu-Gi-Oh is incredibly rare. And for whatever reason, like in bigger cities, you're less likely to find Yu-Gi-Oh than in small towns. Yu-Gi-Oh's a small town thing.
That's interesting
I didn't grow up
to me
with Yu-Gi-Oh
because I feel like I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh in a pretty big city. I mean, I don't live there anymore, so I can dox my old the place that I live. I used to live in San Jose, California, and Yu-Gi-Oh was huge there. I used to go downtown to like a huge like card shop that had like 50 player locals. It was great.
That is California, to be fair.
Yeah,
I live in the Midwest. I live in Tornado Alley specifically. So the people that go to card shops, there aren't big tournaments. I think the biggest local tournament I have is like 3 hours from where I am.
Damn.
Uh,
Okay.
and
I
that's
guess
for
my
Yu-Gi-Oh specifically.
my experiences are not universal, I suppose.
Yeah. In California, come on.
Yeah,
I'm over here.
you know
I'm
what?
like,
You are right. California is like a completely different planet compared to a lot of the rest of the U.S. Yeah. Holy shit.
yeah, I'm over here. I'm just like, I gotta drive through the cornfields to get
I
to
mean,
my car
I get that now
shop.
because I'm in the UK now. So, like,
Yeah,
if I'm not going to my like local, which is like 10 minutes away, I'm going like an hour.
yeah. Well, that's the crazy thing too is, I have like 2 or 3 card shops in my city. And the big one that I went to was like, haha, no, we don't sell Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Oh, you know, another massive problem in my area. No singles.
What,
No
like
one
at
sells
any card
singles
shops?
for Yu-Gi-Oh. You can't buy singles at card shops for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Damn.
Like the card shop that sells Yu-Gi-Oh in my city was like, I'm sorry, for Yu-Gi-Oh specifically, we don't sell singles because we make no money off of them.
I mean, that's fair, I guess.
Not even bulk. Yeah, they don't even sell bulk. They sell card sleeves, they sell card packs and booster boxes, but they do not sell singles. And I don't think anyone in my state sells singles.
Yeah,
The entire state.
I understand that. Like, if you're not making money on it, then yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too, is like, there's no Yu-Gi-Oh events in my area, so who's going to be buying singles for Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah,
Wow.
that does kind of suck. That really does make it kind of difficult then. Thank God for like Card Market and
oh
TCG
yeah, I
Player
know.
and stuff.
I'm sponsor baby at some point.
Yeah, that would be great.
I know, right? Yeah, which state solid liquid gas or plasma? At this point, I think it's solid because you're just not making any progress. You're not moving through that. Carl, oh, okay. I do love Carl Toes. Hi, Toes. How are you? All right, next story. We're moving on.
All right, thank you for that one though. That was a doozy. That had
That was a doozy.
a lot of elements to it. But I'm sorry that you had such a bad experience.
Yeah, that really sucks. I'm glad you found a better experience online. That's pretty universal in all things, not just hobby stuff. So I'm glad that you've at least found that. All right. We have a new one. This one is fighting game tournaments, so it's adjacent.
Ooh, okay. All right. Mix
All
it
right,
up
here
a
we
little
go.
bit.
Yeah.
The
Outside of
mix-up?
tabletop hobbies. Yeah, I love a mix-up. All right, so this one says, outside of tabletop hobbies, I also participate in fighting game tournaments from time to time. And this one from back in my college days still gives me headaches, literally. A place I frequented was hosting a bracket of Persona 4 Arena Ultimax with an added top
hell
bonus
yeah.
due to a local sponsor. I've never played. The only fighting game I think I have ever played is Soul Calibur 2 on my original Xbox.
Damn. Not even Smash Bros?
Okay, I guess I've played Smash. For the Switch. The one
I
that was
guess
on
it's
Switch.
like not quite in the same genre, but it's technically still a fighting game.
It's a fighting game, I would consider. I guess I've played maybe a little bit of Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Oh man,
But
I wanted
yeah.
to get into that so bad.
Oh wait. Okay. I gotta get invested in this. I gotta get invested in this.
Okay,
But
okay,
I keep
okay,
just
okay.
thinking of random stories. I mentioned fighters, and I was just reminded of something funny. Okay, let me finish the story, and then I will bring that up. So they had an added pot bonus due to a local sponsor. Not that kind of pot, Chad. About 50% showed up, which was awesome. That or 50 plus, not 50%. 50 plus. That's a lot of people. I made it into the top 8 in the losers bracket, and was paired against an acquaintance of a friend of mine at the time, who, oh no, shall we say, doesn't handle criticism or losing well.
Ooh, do not like those types of people.
I managed to win my set against him, and as I went to shake their hand, the guy raged through his controller at my eye.
What the excuse me? Hello? What the fuck?
It just hit over the eyeball, but the bruising was enough to cause bleeding to the point that medical attention was needed. Hello, lawsuit. No kidding.
What in the fucking world? Are you That's like 3-year-old behavior. Are you joking? What? This person's allowed in public?
Chill, I know, right? That is actually crazy. Luckily, nothing too serious, but the fallout was a disaster. I had to drop out due to the injury. The guy was ejected from the venue and banned from the store, thank goodness. And he decided to go on a slander tirade against me for weeks after the event. And was trying to pull high school clique tactics by trying to ostracize me from friends I know. Oh my god. It somewhat worked, with a few people siding with him, but due to evidence of the incident, with first-hand accounts as well as photo evidence, he was essentially— photo evidence? Wow. He was essentially blacklisted from virtually any sort of competitive video game tournament in my region. Good. Where's the lawsuit?
Yeah, for real.
I wonder, so this was college, so I understand. College people do some stuff that might be a little silly and they don't want to call the police for specific reasons. So that's fair. But dang, that really stinks. The events left such a scar on me mentally that I've only just recently felt comfortable getting back into attending tournaments and events IRL since then, almost 7 years later.
Damn. Was
That's
the guy
really
playing
sad.
Steve? Steve from Persona 4 Arena Ultimax? The secret character, I'm guessing, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's rough. That's really rough. I don't know if I had experienced any violence.
Yeah,
but,
no, that's crazy. Like,
that is actually crazy.
That is, like, how a toddler would react. Like, that's nuts. But again, video games and other nerdy hobbies attract people with a level of social awkwardness on average. So I mean,
it's so true. It's so
like,
true.
it's not like, unexpected, I suppose. Like,
I suppose
I don't
not.
think unexpected is like the right word, but like,
it's
you get it.
Not surprising, I guess.
Like I mean, even that, like, it's surprising, but like, you can be like, oh, it was a video game tournament. Oh yeah, there's bound to be like a weirdo or two who still like get mad at video games, you know?
Yeah. So apparently it was Ryu, and Ryu said that wasn't a fun day, y'all, and it was settled out of court. I'm glad to hear that at least.
Oh shit. Well, damn. I hope it only left a mental scar and not like a physical scar at your on your like
really
eyeball
sucked.
or what was it? It hit just over the eyeball. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That is
really sucks.
that's really dangerous too. Like that is not good.
Apparently, a lot of the old heads in the fighting game community reminisce on those toxic days because they've dialed back a lot of the shit talk and cut down on that kind of behavior at organized events. That's good to hear. That is good to hear.
Yeah, that is good. That is good.
So my random anecdote from this one is actually really funny because I lived in an apartment complex, and I lived there long enough that I had a couple people moving in and out of the apartment across from me. And at one point, this guy moved in, and I would hear him screaming at the top of his lungs, and I was like, "Oh my god, is he having like really violent arguments with a girlfriend or something? Like, this sounds really bad and really violent." And I was really scared. I thought I might need to call the police or something. One day, I'm passing by his door, and I just hear him say, "God damn it, Goku, hit the move!" So, this entire time, I thought this guy was like abusively yelling at his girlfriend or something, but he was just screaming at Dragon Ball FighterZ the entire time.
Oh, that Goku, always whiffing the moves.
Oh, good times, good times.
I have a short anecdote related to like sort of violence, I guess.
Oh, go for
I
it.
this was at a card game, a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. This was
Mhm.
like when I was like first like really sort of like getting into like actually playing sort of competitively. So this is when I was like a pretty little guy at the time.
Yeah.
It was I think this honestly was around like Edison format
Mm.
because so there was a game going on at the locals and it was this guy who had like a pretty short temper and I guess it must have been like one of those games where like from that era of Yu-Gi-Oh where like you just don't like have extenders, right? So like
Oh,
if
yeah.
you are going second and you go okay normal summon and your opponent goes trap card kills your normal
Mhm.
summon and you're just like well shit okay I guess I pass and I'll try again next turn kind of thing because you know you have
Right.
time in 2009 Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, like you got a couple of turns to like stick a normal summon and like get into the game. But there are some of those games where you go, all right, normal summon. Oh, trap card. Word. Okay. Pass. Oh, my turn again. Okay, normal summon. Oh, trap card. Oh shit. I guess I'm passing
Mhm.
again. All right. My turn again. Normal summon. Another trap card. Okay. Yeah. Fuck.
Oh, man.
And you're just like, well, that just how it goes. Sometimes you don't have the back row removal. Sometimes you have all normal summons, and you just like play into like trap holes like turns in a row. Uh,
Yeah.
and so apparently this style of game was happening to this guy, and he was getting like very frustrated, and he was basically on the turn where like he needed a normal summon to stick to get into the game, otherwise he lost, right?
Mhm.
And his opponent had two back row, so and he had just drawn MST. So he went, okay,
Oh.
MST your back row. It was a bottomless trap hole. And he's like, nice, I
Mhm.
hit the bottomless trap hole. And he goes, normal summon. And then the opponent goes, bottomless trap hole.
No!
And he got so mad, he punched a hole in the wall and like throws his deck across the room and like
Oh.
just starts yelling and he gets escorted out of the shop going, he had the second bottomless! He had the second bottomless! I vividly remember that. It was
That
like
is so
yeah,
funny. Oh my
yeah,
god.
and that's true. Yeah, this was from an era where bottomless was like at 2, so they had
Mm.
literally both copies they were legally allowed at the same time, and he MST'd one, but they had the other one, so
Oh, that's so rough.
he had the second bottomless.
That's so funny. Oh my god. Mr. Konami, a second bottomless has hit the normal summon. Oh my god. Oh. All right, you ready for the next one?
Let's do it.
Oh, this is one of the narrative ones.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess we can spice this one up with dramatic reading.
Okay, would you
All
like to
right.
do the dramatic reading?
Let's do it. Okay, so this one is titled
Oh,
Limang Oras. Is this what
I think
language is
it's
this? Tagalog?
uh yeah, I think it's Tagalog.
Oh, okay, okay. All right.
Welcome players.
Yeah, this
Hello,
means
hello.
5 hours, by the way. Limang Oras. All right. Ira stepped into the shop just after 1 in the afternoon. It was cooler inside than she remembered. Card Kingdom was a narrow space, tucked between a hardware store and a pawn shop. Its walls cluttered with fading posters, cabinets filled with sleeves, dusty figurines, and a few old tables where players once gathered for weekend matches. She had been there 100 times before. It hadn't changed. Oi, Ira. She turned. Noelle sat behind the counter, half asleep, hoodie zipped up high, despite the summer heat. "It's hot outside. Good thing it's cool in here," she said. Noelle just nodded. The air conditioning buzzed softly above them. She went to take her usual table in the back. The shop was quiet. No other players, just her. She set her backpack down, unzipped it, and began sorting her cards. The habit was comforting. The rhythm of checking sleeves, counting, cutting, and drawing. Outside, a jeepney honked in the distance. It was just another Sunday. At first, she didn't notice how long she had been there. When she glanced at the wall clock, it read 2:10 p.m. She felt a momentary flicker of surprise. That couldn't be right. She had only played one round. Like, maybe two? She checked her phone. The lock screen refused to respond. No notifications, no signal, no clock. Just a black screen, as if frozen in time. She shrugged it off. Maybe she'd lost track. But the silence grew heavier. Where were the others? Sundays were never this quiet. Mark and Pia usually showed up by now. The owner, Kuya Rico, always brought empanadas and stayed near the counter with his dog-eared newspaper. But there was no smell of food, no voices. Just the hum of a ceiling fan spinning too slowly, like it was dragging its blades through water. She walked to the front. Noelle still sat behind the counter. His eyes were closed. "Aren't there any other people today?" He didn't answer. "Kuya?" She leaned closer. His breathing was too still. Then, he opened his eyes. Not with a jolt, but slowly, like waking from underwater. "You've been here," he said. "The whole time." She stared at him. "I haven't been here long," she replied, trying not to laugh. I just arrived." But her voice felt small. She looked around again. The shadows in the shop felt longer than before. The light outside the door looked dimmer, like dusk had fallen far too quickly. The bell at the door rang. She turned, hopeful. No one came in. The door hadn't moved. And yet, the bell rang again. Twice more. "Kuya," she said, trying not to sound nervous. "Did you hear that?" Noelle stared at her, unmoving. "You came back," he said, "after so long." She blinked. "What?" His mouth moved again, but no sound came. She backed away. The clock above the counter now read 3:47 p.m. That couldn't be right. She checked her phone again, still dead. She walked quickly to her table and stuffed the cards back into her bag. She headed for the door. It wouldn't budge. The handle was cold. Not like metal, but something lifeless. No give, no resistance, just stillness. She pounded on it, looked out. The street outside was there. The sidewalk, the bakery, the passing tricycles. But they were frozen. People mid-step, mouths open mid-speech, a bird mid-flap above a jeepney. Like a painting. Like a memory caught in amber. Her breath caught. She turned back into the shop, and suddenly the light was dimmer. Posters that once showed bold colors were now sun-bleached and peeling. The floor tiles were cracked in places she didn't remember. The fan had stopped spinning. Ira called out again, "Noelle!" But the counter was empty. She walked slowly toward it, each step quieter than the last. Behind the counter lay a folded newspaper dated September 2023. She blinked. That was last year. She turned it over. The front page was smeared with age. A small article at the bottom caught her eye. "Local card shop closes. After 20 years, owner found deceased inside. She froze. She stepped back, bumping into something. A chair. The same chair she had been sitting on, but older now. Dusty, covered in cobwebs. She turned and saw the back wall. It had caved in slightly, as if from water damage and time. Everything around her was decayed, as if years had passed. "No," she whispered. I just arrived earlier." But her voice sounded too loud in the silence. She ran to the bathroom, flicked the light. It didn't turn on. She looked into the mirror, barely lit by the dying light overhead, and she saw herself. But different. Thinner. Paler. The whites of her eyes tinged yellow. Her cheeks hollow, her lips cracked. She touched her face. The mirror version did not move. Instead, it smiled. "It's been 5 years," it said. Ira stepped back, choking on her breath. Her heart pounded like thunder, but her limbs felt slow, sluggish. She ran back to the shop floor. Everything was still again. The door, the tables, the cabinets. Ira sat down on the floor, hands shaking. She checked her phone. It lit up. "Welcome back. Last seen, October 15th, 2028. A message appeared on screen. Unknown number. The game doesn't end when you leave the table. You forgot that." Then it went black again. Ira clutched her bag tightly and looked around the shop. The clock ticked, loud now, like a heartbeat. 4:01 p.m. But she knew there would be no evening, no home to return to, just the feeling that time passed when she wasn't looking, and that somewhere in the quiet, she had been forgotten by the world outside, or worse, that the world outside had already moved on, and she never did.
Round of applause. Very well read.
God. Holy shit. Damn, that was really well written. Not quite what we were looking for, but
we'll take it.
Yeah.
I think Inferno mentioned that he thinks he might have actually heard this story before, so it might be a creepypasta.
Oh, dang, okay.
That was really good, though. That's really interesting. I don't think I've ever heard, like, a card shop creepypasta.
Yeah, no, me neither. You are right. It was a local's horror story, I suppose.
It was.
We were kind of looking for, like, anecdotal experiences, but you know what? What's the quote?
On us.
A surprise, for sure, but a welcome one.
A welcome one. Yeah, exactly. It was a nice palate cleanser. Yeah, amidst all the sexism and scamming, it's probably pretty good to have a nice palate cleanser in between.
Do more VA work? I mean, sure, I guess.
You should.
Well, maybe I'll have to get prompts that people want me to read.
You should. I wanted to try it too. I don't think I have the live script reading skills that you have, though.
I don't know if I would say I had skills. I thank you, though. Thank you. I'm glad you all liked it.
I stumble over my words. Yeah, you did voice it really well. Well done, Hasher. Well done. Oh.
Ah, those shucks.
Is it my turn? Is it time for my narrative story? Do you guys want another narrative story? Because there's
another one. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I guess I gotta drink my water. It's my turn. All right. It's my turn to read the oh god. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Hasher, say Dino.
Dino.
Yeah, he wants say Dino DNA in the creepypasta voice.
Oh, the Dino DNA like copy pasta? Hold up. Uh, in the voice, huh? Uh, all right, hold on. Okay. You see, a few years back on a routine dig for dinosaur fossils, a landslide broke out and nearly broke my leg in two. They had to operate quickly, so they used the dinosaur bone I found to fix my leg. Ever since, I've had what they call dino DNA. The doctor says it makes me stronger than your average Joe.
Thank you. Thank you. No, the horror, not the dino DNA.
I mean, you know what? When you do think about it, that is kind of a horror story. They
It
got caught
is,
in a
actually.
landslide, broke their leg, and then they had to use a dinosaur bone to like rescue their leg or whatever. Like that's kind of a horror story when you think about it.
It is. It is. Oh my god.
Is this
All
off
right.
of memory? What do you think? I'm the dino dude. You think I don't have the dino DNA copy pasta memorized by this point?
Oh my god. All right. This one is titled The House at Sitio Anino. You ready, Chant? I
I'm ready.
don't know if I'm ready, but we'll go. When McGee. Oh my god, I already mispronounced it. Okay. From the top.
It's all right. Take two. Take one didn't
Take two.
exist. That wasn't real.
That never happened. When Miguel Alano got the letter, he was already tired of the city. The rent was high, the traffic louder, and sleep had been hard to come by for weeks. So when the envelope slid under his apartment door, no stamp, no postmark, he opened it with more curiosity than caution. Miguel, come home. We need you. Signed, Aunt Maria. It smelled faintly of Sampaguita. The paper was thick, the handwriting familiar. But Tia Maria had died 10 years ago. Tuberculosis. Her name was etched in the family crypt up in Sitio Anino. Still, something about the note. It felt urgent. Not dramatic, not desperate, just inevitable. Like a call you don't ignore because it's not meant to be ignored. By sundown, Miguel was on a bus heading toward the province. Sitio Anino was the same. Overgrown, half forgotten. The dirt path to the Alano house cut through the trees like a scar. The house loomed at the end of it, old wood graying, windows shut tight, roof bowing under the weight of moss and time. He didn't expect anyone to greet him, but someone did. A woman in a brown dress opened the front door just as he stepped onto the porch. Her face was gaunt, but not unfriendly. "You're here," she said, as if he'd been expected. "I'm Seely. I take care of things now." Miguel hesitated. "You work for my family?" She smiled without answering and stepped aside. "Come in. Your room's ready." Inside, the house felt both lived in and untouched. Dust settled like skin on every surface, yet the kitchen smelled faintly of ginger and oil. There were shoes by the door that weren't his, and voices echoing softly down the hall. Calm, murmuring voices, as if from a prayer meeting or a wake. "You're not the only one staying," Seely explained, handing him a glass of water. "Some of the family came back. Not all at once, just one by one." Miguel nodded. Something about that made sense. Kind of. He passed an old man in the hallway who barely looked at him, his eyes cloudy and unfocused. A young boy giggled in one of the side rooms, but stopped abruptly when Miguel stepped too close. At dinner, he met 3 others. Archuo, who said he was a cousin, though Miguel didn't remember him. Lena, who might have been his father's niece. And a woman named Ate Letty, who never blinked during their meal, and kept muttering prayers under her breath. They said little, ate in silence, smiled when spoken to, but never first, as if they were waiting. That night, Miguel woke up thirsty. The house was darker than it should have been. He crept toward the kitchen, past closed doors. From behind one, he heard scratching. Not loud, just steady, like fingernails on wood. He paused. "Hello?" The scratching stopped. In the kitchen, he found Celie standing at the window, unmoving, as if she'd been standing there for hours. There's something wrong with this house, Miguel said, before he could stop himself. Celie didn't turn around. There's something wrong with you, Miguel. You came back. Her voice was calm, like a teacher correcting a student. Then she turned and smiled again. Wide this time. Too wide. Over the next few days, the air in the house thickened. Miguel started waking up, confused, heart racing, shirt soaked in sweat. Lena knocked on his door one morning with dried herbs tied in twine. For your dreams, she said. They watch you when you sleep. The herbs confuse them. Miguel didn't ask who they were. He found a dead lizard in his shoe, a handprint on his bedroom door. Bedroom mirror, not his hand. Once he caught the boy from earlier, the giggling one, staring at him from the top of the staircase, eyes wide with something like knowing. Then he vanished. No footsteps, no sound, just gone. On the fifth night, Archibald took him aside after dinner. They all died, you know. Everyone here. Years ago. Miguel blinked. What are you talking about? Archibald nodded toward the others. Celie, Letty, Lena, me. We died during the outbreak. Fever. The coughing kind. It spread fast, and we couldn't get help. No priest, no burial, just the house. Miguel laughed. But you're here. You're talking to me. You're... Because you came back. Arturo's voice dropped. And the house. It remembers its own. Miguel didn't sleep that night. He sat on the floor beside the bed, holding the herbal bundle, listening for coughing. At exactly 3 a.m., he heard it. The next morning, Miguel tried to leave. Packed quickly, skipped breakfast, walked out while the others were in the prayer room. He didn't even make it to the road. The trees didn't look right. They were closer than they had been. The same path turned back on itself, looped around. Fed him back to the front porch. Celie was waiting. We don't lock the door, she said. But you can't leave until it decides. What is it? Miguel whispered. The sickness, she replied, as if that explained everything. It stayed. It never left. And now, neither can you. She placed a hand on his chest. Cold fingers, no pulse. Miguel stayed 2 more days, or maybe 3. The clocks in the house had stopped working. His phone wouldn't turn on. The sun rose and set in shades of red that bled into everything. He found a mirror and stared at himself. His eyes looked darker. His skin had grown pale. A part of him began to forget why he came in the first place. Another part whispered, You were always here. Then he found the letter again, folded in his jacket pocket. The paper was rotting now, dark spots blooming across it like mold. The ink faded, the scent gone. The writing had changed. You're part of us now. Don't forget, we never did. And then he left. Just like that. He opened the door and stepped outside, and the trees were gone. The sky was blue. A tricycle rattled by. No vines, no whispers, no ghost. Just Quezon City again. Miguel blinked under the fluorescent hum of his apartment. The dust, the city noise, the people, all rushed back like a scream behind glass. He dropped his bag and sat on the edge of the bed. Only then did he notice the smell. Earth, sweat, Sampaguita. He looked at his mirror and saw 5 silhouettes standing behind him. Celie, Archibald, Lena, Letty, the boy. They didn't move. They didn't blink. And he didn't scream. He just whispered, You followed. But he already knew. They never left. Because maybe he hadn't either.
Damn.
That was very well
Okay.
written. Not exactly a locals horror story, but definitely a horror story.
Yeah. I was wondering if this would ever like get to like a locals or something, or but
I don't
it
think
was
it
still
did.
really good.
Yeah, that was good. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do a. You know what? We should do a horror reading event during October.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. We have to do that.
That would be so much fun.
I'm so down.
Like we could have people submit, like not even there could be user submitted stories, but we could also even have people submit like their favorite creepypastas and stuff.
Ooh, true. Like Mandor hand hook car door. That's my favorite.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Yeah, we should do that though. We should do that. But we should get back into the local stuff. Thank you for sharing. It was really well written. Don't submit the Vaporeon copy pasta for that. Oh my god. All
Did
right.
you know
well,
that Vaporeon is cool?
Wait, Plushy, you've written a horror book? Oh my god. Yes, we
What?
have to do that. Also, hi Plushy, how are you? You used to write? That's so cool. I tried to write once. We don't talk about it.
I think we all had our fan fiction phase, right?
Well, I don't even know if it was fan fiction or just really poorly written fictional stories. I literally took a creative writing class in college. And all of the notes I got back from the teacher were like, what?
That is not a helpful note.
Well, I mean, it was like this is really well written, and I really like what you're doing with it, but the characters' reactions don't make sense. And I was like, oh no, it's my social inaptitude coming through in my writing.
Oh no. You're just like, oh man, oh no. That's what I would do in that situation.
Exactly.
Chat, am I cooked? And then your teacher's like, "What? Who the fuck is Chat? What are you talking about?"
Chat, am I cooked? Literally written. Vaporeon is base has a lot of HP, and it's a really good baton pass Pokemon with acid armor. You know what? You're right, Poffle.
Those are facts.
You're so right. Oh, we gotta start a writers guild. Oh man.
Hey, we could do like a writers guild and like do like a monthly reading. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, that would be dope. That would be. We could come up with like prompts for it too.
Ooh. Oh, we're gaming now.
We're gaming. You guys inspired us. Hasher came in and asked me about this, and I was like, "Yeah, we should do it." And then now we're just cooking with even more ideas. All right.
Yeah, we could definitely make a thing.
Would you like to do us the honor of reading the next one?
Let's go. We are halfway through our submitted stories. We're on number 7 out of 13.
We are indeed.
So we still got a good ways to go. All right.
We're gaming.
We are, in fact, gaming. Okay. The year was 2016. On a hill through some trees, there was a house. Me and many others went almost every weekend to play Yu-Gi-Oh! It was me and my best friend at the time. Let's call him D. The D!
The D! Little D!
Little D? D? Hold on. Is this a Destiny hero? Destiny hero Blue D? Anyway.
Whoever it is.
D was short, with curly hair, who always had a girlfriend, or at least was always banging one. All right, dude, okay. Sure. Growing up, I watched him through secondary school, and to see him work the girls was like magic. What is this story about? Hello?
This is a very different context.
Yeah. He taught me a thing or two, and I became second best at getting girls in our friend group of 6.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Fast forward to the time of the story, we were at the usual place for locals. It was a mutual friend of ours' mom's house. He had 2 other sisters. P, who I fancied, and she liked me back, always baked me some sweet treats, including cinnamon rolls. One day, we arrived at the house to play, left our shoes at the door like we always do, pulled out my Lightsworn deck and started to play Who Was There. As time passed, I noticed that their grandmother was also home. The 2 girls came in the window to where we were all playing outside and said, D, my grandmother told us about you and your family. You sell people. What the hell is going on?
What is happening here?
Mods, what is happening? Now, when I heard that, I was shocked. I took it as my rising suspicion of D and his family being wrapped up in something dark and occultic. I looked at D, he was laughing nervously and said he has no idea what they were talking about. But me, being smart and perceptive, knew that my hunch about him was right, and I knew I had to get the hell away from this place. I went to get my shoes. They were gone. I asked everyone for those shoes. Typing this story right now is making me tremble. That they said this in parentheses, by the way. No one knew where my shoes were, but I knew that they just hid them or was doing something to them. I called my mother to come get me. I was 24 and terrified. My mom...
Okay, wait.
That is a very strange way to phrase that. All right.
Wait. This has to be true.
I need to finish this.
Yeah, please.
My mom heard it in my voice, and she told me she just started to pray at that moment because she suspected D for a while as well. After the call, I came back, and lo and behold, my shoes were right there where I left them. I wasted no time. I got the hell out of there without even saying a word. Met my mother a little bit down the road and gave her a big hug. Everything made sense now. To this day, I still talk to D. I feel like I may have been paranoid about it all, but it is still in the back of my mind to be cautious around him or anyone else who might be or have associated with the occult. That's just generally good advice, I guess. Something protected me every time I was with him or his family, and we were just best friends, so I spend a lot of time with him and his family over the years and was never affected by anything dark. Just couldn't take the chance that day. End story. What?
No,
What?
Chat, you're all getting this wrong. He's not 14 or 16 and 9 in This Is Deep. He's 24 in This Is Deep.
He's 24 and terrified.
And actually very clever and very smart.
Who is this? What?
Oh my god.
Also, I don't know if anyone else watches Loom YGO on YouTube, but this story starts exactly the same way as every Loom video.
No, I haven't.
The year was 2016. This story feels AI generated. I don't think it does, actually.
No, this feels handwritten. So, for context, this is written with absolutely no spacing. Like, there's no paragraph breaks.
Yeah, this is all in one paragraph.
Also, I think my favorite part of the story was the, in parentheses, typing this makes story right now is making me tremble.
Typing this right now is making me tremble. Also, what was the relevance of like his friend and him being good at like getting girls? Like what? That had nothing to do with the story.
We're here for the locals horror story to pick up chicks.
Also, like the locals was at a friend of ours' mom's house.
Yeah.
This is not a local game store. This is just a meetup at some guy's house.
Okay, I do actually know. So, I had some friends. I never participated in these tournaments, but I had some friends that did. They would play HeroClix tournaments. And the guy that would host the HeroClix tournaments apparently had this like ginormous mansion that he would invite people to, like slightly outside the city, and they would drive to his house and participate in the tournament.
I mean, like I've been to like people's houses where they were hosting like a small little like tournament like as a get together for friends, but like
I think this was like an official tournament thing.
Yeah, it wasn't like an open where people could just like come to your house and like register for like a tournament, you know?
Yeah. I mean, small towns, I guess.
This is so weird. This is such a weird one. The house was local, it counts. I guess. Yeah, I suppose. This is a horror story that happened locally to this person, I suppose. Although, like, what was the horror story? Like, he suspected that
his shoes were missing.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. His shoes went missing for like 10 seconds. Yeah. And also he had suspicion that his family sold people, was human trafficking. What? This is
Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, is this going to go somewhere really where it should not go? But it's like, no,
Oh my
they're silly
God.
people into a cult. Uh,
Hey,
okay.
yo, welcome Engage, Mr. Nim Nim, yo, thank you for the raid. Welcome to Locals Horror Stories. You just missed a doozy.
You did.
And
Hi.
with me I have No Fox Were Given, aka Vixie, aka Fox. We're taking turns reading these horror stories from Locals. I don't even know how to explain this last one we just did, but
So they had two friends, and they were girls, and they were banging girls, and they stole his shoes, and he was trembling in his boots.
Yeah.
Oh.
They stole his shoes, and it was also not at a local game store. It was at like some guy's house, and I I don't know. I think I need a chapter 2 on this. Like this was
honestly.
This was I don't even know what to say, to be honest.
Me neither. Honestly. Okay, I do actually have a lore dump really quick.
Okay.
So they're talking about like the cults and like the occult. Actually, I have a lot of experience with this because I took a class on cults and new religions in college. This is not how cults operate.
No, I didn't think so. I've never been a part of one as far as I know, but yeah, no, I didn't think that this would be how a cult would operate, where people would just come up to you and be like, "Hey, my grandma told me that you human traffic people. Is that true?"
Yeah, it's true. Certainly something. Yeah. Hi, Earl.
Okay, let's just move on to the next one. These last couple really haven't been the horror stories we were kind of like hoping to get, but they were interesting reads.
Crazy.
Yes.
With the sexism and the scamming. And then we got actual narrative fictional stories.
And
then we got I'm very smart and very cool. And I pulled out my Lightsworn deck, and then they stole my shoes.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. He was like, "Oh yeah, let's make sure that this story is relevant to like card games." I had a Lightsworn deck, by the way.
Okay. Ooh, we got an old one. All right, you ready for this one, chat? So this one takes place in the very early days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe 2003 to 2004-ish? One of our local game shops got permission from a nearby mall bookstore to run locals after hours. Ooh, after hours, okay. The shop was under construction at the time, and the owner wanted to keep the community alive. Unfortunately, this meant that just about anyone could waltz in and start trouble if they were clever enough, which is what happened that night. Two guys in their teens, roughly my age around the time, just came in to play locals, but they were loud and trash-talking everyone. Even the youngest of the kids that were there. It was frustrating enough going 0-2, but to hear them the entire time was more gas on the fire. Highlights include one of the two boys loudly exclaiming, "Hey y'all, I got the masked beast!" when he got a trade from a middle schooler. But where it goes into horror territory was when I sat down for a moment. Either I was playing a casual game, or I think I was trading some cards, and I noticed it out of the corner of my eye. Oh no. One of the guys was taking other people's decks, taking rare cards from them, then attempting to trade them for better cards from unsuspecting players.
What the fuck? Okay.
Oh my god. I noticed the dude do this twice. The second time, we locked eyes. I tried to ignore it, and to this day, I regret not saying something about it. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up that you saw it happening and didn't say anything about it. Hello?
Teenagers, right?
I guess.
Anyway, the event winds down, The event winds down, we all go home. I take the bus back to my place, and running onto the bus late, just as I'm about to go, the guys. And one of them locks eyes with me immediately. Oh, I bet this is why they didn't say anything. And it says right across from me on the bus. They try to strike up conversation, and I'm trying to play along. But then they start getting a bit more menacing. And they start making jokes about jumping me, asking me where I got off. One of them suddenly got up and flexed like they were going for a punch, and then did the stupid jock thing of pulling back to make me flinch. They seemingly gave up and moved to the back of the bus, but they kept looking at me the whole time. And the jokes about jumping me when I got off the bus kept going. Thankfully, they didn't get off when I did, but I was paranoid for the rest of the night. I never went to Locals or the mall bookstore again, waiting instead for the store to reopen proper. Insult to injury, sometime later at that same mall, at a GameStop no less, some punk wanted to look at my cards and straight up stole my ultra-rare Japanese vampire lord. I didn't notice it until I went home, and I think that was the beginning of the end of my time playing cardboard.
Wow.
Yikes.
This does not seem like a good place to be. Like,
no.
What the...
No.
Like kind of really fucked up of you to witness all of this happening and say nothing. Don't want to invoke, like karma, but
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like you kind of deserved getting I don't know, like what even happened really? Like you got evil eyes from some dudes on the bus.
I think context would matter here. Because if I had this experience, I might have been scared, especially because the most important thing here is the fact that this was not really Locals from like an official card shop. This was a mall bookstore.
Uh-huh.
So whoever's hosting it, who knows how old they are.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm doing too much devil's advocate here, but either way, I think both players in this story have a little bit of culpability.
Yeah, like obviously no one deserves to be like intimidated and like jumped like on a bus and
no,
like honestly this is like two halves like that are like both halves of this are crazy. Like the first half is you saying that there were some annoying kids at the Locals, which that's Locals, that happens.
Yeah.
And that some guy was stealing cards out of people's decks and then trading them to other people.
That's crazy.
You know what? I think I remember something similar to this happened.
Oh no.
Where like someone stole like a card from someone and then traded it to like another person. And there was like a whole thing where like the third person who like traded for the card and thought that they, just got like a fair deal, got accused of stealing it from the persons who it originally belonged to. So that was like a whole mess.
Man.
But obviously like they followed the paper trail and they were like,
sure.
Oh, you got it from this guy? Okay. All right. Well, so that was something. But I don't know, dude, like, like you're a teenager, I get it, but like, and you do say you regret like not saying something about it, but like, I can't believe like you watched him do it twice.
Yeah, and didn't say anything.
She just didn't say anything, but I don't know. I understand like being like a pretty like meek teenager and not wanting to like get into trouble.
Cause trouble, yeah. It's really tough. I think the big thing is like locking eyes with them, and then you never know. You just never know.
Again,
but either way,
I gotta point out like this only happens with Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes!
Even in 2003, 2004, when this story happens, like 20 years ago, like this was still happening. This has never happened in any other card game that I've ever played. Do people like
No.
take other people's cards or like steal like binders or like anything like this, dude? Like, what is it about Yu-Gi-Oh? Like, what? I don't get
really
it.
Don't know. I really don't know. I mentioned like a lot of this where I live, Yu-Gi-Oh is a very small town thing. I don't know. It's just it's really strange. I don't know. It's like it's small town or people just there's a different community for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
So
It's weird. It's very weird.
it is very weird. Yeah, there's definitely scummy things that happen in Magic, but it's like this card stealing. That's the weird part. Like I got scammed in a trade, but my cards weren't actually just like stolen from me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, getting scammed in a trade, that's like not even that's not even something that's exclusive to like card games, let alone Magic. Like that's just that's honestly like human nature, I guess. Like that is capitalism.
Yeah,
Honestly,
true.
that's literally
True.
capitalism. That's yeah. I've heard stories about stuff that happens like in Magic the Gathering spaces, and it's usually angle shooting and like sharking for the most part.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the things that it might be is people like there's some mentions in the stories that Yu-Gi-Oh can be expensive. Magic is actually like you pay loans off with Magic cards.
Uh-huh.
Like there is thousands of dollars wrapped up in just a single Magic deck.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe that is the thing is like it's people that are just really savvy and want to make money off of you, not just being like, oh, I just really want your cards, I really want your deck, and I want to make trades with it. It is, I am here to make money.
And that's what is like so weird to me about like theft being like so common in like a Yu-Gi-Oh space. And I don't want to say like, oh, you need to like watch out anytime you go to like a Yu-Gi-Oh event, because like personally, like I've never had anything taken from me. I don't know if that's maybe because I just don't I have like a don't fuck with me kind of aura or something. But like nothing of mine has ever gone missing or like been taken or anything. But I'm also like careful with my stuff. Like I don't leave it like on like unattended. Although I will say I've been to Pokemon tournaments and I've been to like One Piece events. And I've like left my bag on the table to go to like the bathroom or something at those.
Yeah.
Because I felt comfortable that I could. And nothing has ever happened. But I would never do that at a Yu-Gi-Oh event.
Right.
Especially like if like maybe if it was at like a locals where I knew everyone, I wouldn't like having any problem with it. But like yeah, I wouldn't do that in like a random Yu-Gi-Oh space. I don't know. But coming back around to what I wanted to say about it, like the fact that like comparatively to like Magic or Pokemon, like the cards are not worth as much. So
no,
why like if it was like any card game where things might be going missing and like being taken by people, like to get value off of it, like why would it not be like Magic where like the cards have like huge like legacy pricing and like Pokemon where like it's literally a collector's game, like like
yeah,
there are some cards that have crazy price tags. There's almost nothing in Yu-Gi-Oh that matches up to anything from Magic or Pokemon. It's
right.
It's just like you would think that like with the price tags on the other games, like this kind of behavior would happen in those, but it doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah, the couple things in chat too. So Nash said that it could be because of the relevance of the cards instead of like the cost. So there's like an environment of pressuring the focus on the exact value. and the whole like fork out for the new meta deck or lose plus the immense skill curve to play for like deck card stealing. Which is maybe. But Gunnar also mentioned that Magic scheming is not really card stealing, it's cheating.
Yeah, that's what I have heard.
Well, and you know why? It's because you can make money in Magic tournaments.
Right, yeah.
So it's that maybe that is the thing. It's like as a Yu-Gi-Oh player, you're in it for the game. You're not really doing it for the glory, for the fame, for the money. You're doing it because you're really into Yu-Gi-Oh. So why not steal cards to get better? Versus like
why not steal cards so that you can make some money back on this game that you've spent a bunch of money on with no hope of getting any money back from being good at the game.
Exactly. But with Magic, it's
I guess I get that.
I am literally here to make thousands of dollars. How can I get an upper hand? Oh, I just cheat.
Right.
Versus like I don't need to steal cards to like have a winning deck. I want to make money.
I guess I understand that, although like you make a lot of money in Pokemon from being good too. So
there's definitely a community thing.
Yeah, like I feel like I don't know. Neither of those things happens in Pokemon TCG, as far as I know.
No.
So I don't know what the thing is for Pokemon. I have no idea.
You know, I have the opposite of a horror story with my experience with Pokemon. Ow. Because I got into Pokemon TCG last year, maybe a couple years ago, and I went to my card shop to buy Pokemon cards, and I just happened to be there at the day that they were doing Pokemon Locals. And I walk in, I'm the only girl there. But everyone is so kind and so welcoming. The card shop is like, here, you can have your free energy cards. If you need any recommendations, we'll give you whatever you need. And they're just like, they just wanted me to sit down, hang out, and like play Pokemon with them. And that was really nice.
That does sound nice.
It was, but I never went back because locals are hard. When your card shop is located in probably the most annoying to get to part of your city and not one of the safer parts of your city, it's hard to go.
Yeah, I feel like if it's that kind of environment, then you only get like the most dedicated of players, which means like if you're not quite on like the top level, then you're not really gonna do well either. So if you're like if your enjoyment of like going to locals is that you're gonna like win some games, you might not even get that. So yeah, I totally get it. Someone asked in the chat, what's the most expensive competitive Pokemon cards? And that's the thing, like competitively, like everything is accessible because even like the high rarity cards have like higher rarity like alt art printings, which are like the ones that collectors go after. And then you have like the lower rarity versions of that same card that like if that's all you need to like play the game, you just get that. The only thing that I can think of in like that was ever like super expensive, like we're talking like the only thing I think I can remember that was ever competitively viable and was like 3-digit per copy, but like barely, I'm talking like $100 like per copy of this card. Very uncharacteristic, but the reason is it's because it was a Worlds promo. It was the Tropical Beach card, which is only available to participants of the World Championships from like 2010 to 2012, I think they gave him out, and that's the only time Tropical Beach was ever printed.
I see.
And it ended up being actually like really competitively viable. It's a stadium card where you can draw until you have 7 cards in your hand and then end your turn, which was a really good card effect to have for a lot of decks to like help set up in the early game, because
Mhm.
you just like wouldn't be attacking the first couple of turns, so you might as well just like draw a whole bunch of cards and then end your turn.
Right.
And it was never like printed any other way, so it was like really hard to come by, especially in the US, because
Oh.
what happened is they printed a set of 9 tropical beaches to give
Uh,
to the world's competitors, which were one in every language that the Pokemon trading card game is printed in. So it was like English, Japanese, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and a couple of others I forget.
yeah.
Italian, German. But if you were in the United States of America, you could only play the English copy of Tropical Beach, which meant the English copy
Oh.
went for like $100. But over here in Europe, where pretty much every language other than Japanese was legal for play, you could play literally any of them other than Japanese, and that meant that you could get like a French copy for like $30, which was
That's
still
really
the
interesting.
it was still like the most expensive single card. That wasn't like a higher rarity alt art of something that was way cheaper. Um,
Mm.
but it was like way less. But yeah, so for Pokemon, that is like the top end. And since then, they have never printed a Worlds promo that had an effect that could be like competitively viable. Like after that they came out with what was it? Champions Festival, which
Mm.
is a stadium that just says if you've like maxed out your bench, you could heal 10 damage from all of your Pokemon once per turn, which is like not good.
Oh.
um
Yeah.
and then they made another one recently where it was just like, I forget what it's called, but the effect of it was another stadium card where the effect was all of your Psyduck in play lose 1 to their retreat cost. It was like something like that just would never be good unless like for some reason they printed like some crazy ass Psyduck. There was just no way
I
that would ever
wish.
see play.
Man, I
But
wish.
yeah, exactly. It's funny how collecting Pokemon is super expensive, but playing it isn't. Whereas for Yu-Gi-Oh, it's the other way around. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh collector, you still have to pay more than someone who is playing the game for the most part. Um,
Yeah.
but like the gap between the two is like huge.
It is. It is. Yeah, I
EU
had
lets you
someone.
use foreign. Gray, do you understand that in the EU there aren't foreign cards? Like,
Yeah,
like we are
they're
in the
local.
region where there are people who speak French, who speak German, who speak Italian. So you have to just let all of the languages of those cards be legal. Um,
That's so interesting.
like for example, if you were in Canada, you could play the French version of Tropical Beach if you had that, which actually meant that the French version was the second most expensive version of that card. Because in Canada you could play either English or French. And then US you could only play English, and then if you were anywhere in EU, you could just play any of the EU languages.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. The fact that English is the only like accepted language in the US. You know what?
Yeah.
The biggest loss is card playing, for sure. Definitely. Nothing else.
Yu-Gi-Oh is the same. I believe so. I think I'm pretty sure
It's
you
TCG, like
could.
in EU.
Yeah, actually, I think in Yu-Gi-Oh you might be able to play whatever language even in the US. I might be wrong about that. It's been a while since I played Yu-Gi-Oh in the US, so who the hell knows? Not me.
Yeah, very fair. I know in Magic you can't play non-English cards. So I assume it's probably similar. Oh, you have to have the translation on hand. Maybe that is how it is. Maybe that is how it is.
Oh,
To be
you know
fair,
what?
like I said,
That
I
is
haven't played
right,
tournaments.
actually. I remember that because for Yu-Gi-Oh! UK Nationals, I think like 2019, I couldn't find an English copy of Power Tool Dragon that was like a reasonable price anywhere. So I bought a German one for like $2, and then I just
Mhm.
brought a translation with me.
Yeah, no, I misspoke. That's right. You can, as long as you have the translation, you're allowed to use
Yeah.
non-English cards.
Right. Oh yeah, that's true. We have the Neuron app now, so you don't even need to like have a translation. You just need to look it up on Neuron to just read the card text nowadays.
Ooh, yeah. No, I'm just wrong, Chelfa. I'm just wrong. Don't worry about me. I don't play tournaments. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Obsidian mentioned as well. Talk about real horror stories. Did you hear about Wizards of the Coast sending the Pinkertons?
Wait, what?
No, wait, did you not hear about that?
Wait, say that again? I feel like I
Wizards of
misheard
the
that.
Coast sent the Pinkertons to someone because they got a box set too early. Which time? Good question, Beast.
I think did hear something about that, yeah. Something
Like
similar
actual
to
horror
that happened for
stories.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Like a
Oh,
couple of years ago
really?
too, I think.
I believe it, honestly. It's crazy how like much card companies really protect their IPs. Uh, so stranger things have happened. And yeah, and Yu-Gi-Oh too. I didn't know about that in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. For bringing a translation, what does that mean prior to Neuron? You literally had to like print out like I guess you would print out the card text from like the Yu-Gi-Oh card database website. I think that's what I did.
I'm pretty sure you could just pull it up on your phone from like anything. Just like Google search the
Well,
card.
I mean, you can do that now, I think.
Oh, I guess
Because
like pre-smartphones.
yeah. You could also bring a second English copy of the card too. That is also true. You could just go like, "Oh, I have an English copy of the card here, read it." So yeah, I feel like if you have an English copy of the card and
Yeah,
you're
why not just
playing
put it in your
another language,
bag?
yeah, like I guess like maybe I don't know, maybe if you needed 2 copies but you only had one in English and you just played both, I don't know. Um, it was a very weird time for like alt language stuff. Did you know that I don't know if this is a thing in like other card games, but I remember in Yu-Gi-Oh US players were really obsessed, well some of them anyway. Some of them were really obsessed with getting UK prints of English cards because they
No.
look different because they are printed in like obviously like a different like printing facility that does things very slightly different. So US English and UK English cards look very slightly different. Like the foiling is a little bit off compared to the other kind and stuff. It was really noticeable on Effect Monsters. I
Oh.
think I can't remember. I can't remember which way around it was, but I think U.S. English prints were like slightly darker, and the UK English prints were like slightly lighter. So like the UK English Effect Monster cards were like kind of a lighter orange color. It was
Oh,
it was
I've
interesting.
seen that on like Google image searching for cards, and I just noticed there's like a significant difference between two cards. I never understood why that was. So it's because of the printing.
Swiggity says that the EU cards are the darker ones. Okay, I couldn't remember which way around it was, but yeah. So
Oh, so they look better because of the hollows stand out more. I gotcha.
I mean, I think it's debatable to be honest, but I think it's just that it's a grass is greener situation where like you see a card
Probably.
and it looks like totally different to like the hundreds of copies of it you've seen up until this point, and you're just like, whoa, why does that one look so different? I want that.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I mean, I think in at least for Magic, the only thing that I remember people doing was being like, "Oh yeah, I have the Japanese print of this card," and like waving it around, being like, "I'm really cool because I have the Japanese print." But the cards look the same as far as I can remember.
Yeah, I mean, I remember
Uh,
that like on the playground where kids
mm,
would be like, "Oh, I have the Japanese print of this magic cylinder,
oh my!
and it's super cool and awesome."
Welcome in, Raiders!
Oh,
Hello.
hi.
Hi, welcome in, Koa. How are you doing? We're just sharing some locals horror stories. Hope you had a good stream. Thank you so much for the raid. The German cards, because the names just look cooler because they're really long.
That is true. Oh shit, we got a raid over on this side too. Hi Morgana, welcome.
Hello,
Hello.
Raiders.
I'm here with No Fox We're Given. Today we're reading some locals horror stories. We got like another 5 or 6 to do. So
Yeah, I think we got 4. 4? Yeah,
9, 10, 5, yeah.
5. Counting. Math.
Math. And then we're also just talking about like anecdotes and stuff. So strap in.
Yeah.
We got a few more to get through. A decent few, actually.
Yeah. I think there's a couple more short ones and a couple longer ones, so
Okay. All right.
whenever you want to get back into it.
Yeah, let's do it now.
How
Seeing
many
as we're talking about
deals you got there?
You know, I mean, you say that, but Fox was saying earlier about how some guy found a drug drop spot and stole money from it to buy cards.
Yeah. So that's there have been some, and then we also had the guy that was I guess it's not necessarily drug deals, but he was like wire fraud.
Oh yeah, the card shop manager that was committing wire fraud.
Yeah, with his underage girlfriends.
Yeah,
It's a whole thing.
That was
if you miss any of the
wild
stories,
story. Holy shit.
the VODs will be up. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yippee! Wire fraud! Woohoo!
Yay! Hey, at least the guy was arrested.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the story that never happened with the cult.
Yeah, true.
Oh my god. All right, I can't remember who read last.
I think it was you, so I guess it's my turn to read.
All right, you may begin whenever you're ready.
All right. Okay. So this one begins by saying, I was selling a lot of my Yu-Gi-Oh! Bulk because after COVID, no card shop in my area was running tournaments anymore. I ended up going to one I don't normally go to as my regular card shop wasn't buying any bulk, just selling packs. It went fairly normal conversation-wise and was okay up until the actual sale. I asked the guy if he would buy any singles before selling bulk, and he said not unless they were worth something high like $40 or something. All good there, so I tell him I got my bulk in my backpack with stuff I would like to hold on to as some of my decks still mean something to me, even if I never play with them again. I get the okay to sort out my stuff and gather all the bulk together. I do not tell him I'm ready, as I'm still making sure none of my staple cards that were being used by all my decks are mixed in. He comes over to start to gather them up, and I put 3 cards to the side and back to my backpack. This pissed the owner off. I don't think he played Yu-Gi-Oh! Or knew any value offhand, but he thought I was holding out on him and dropped my trade value from 15 to 10. Keep in mind, there's still a few tins full of bulk, and not that he knows it, but I left cards that would give him his money back off a couple sales, not just penny bulk. From that point on, the vibes were fucked, and I just wanted to use my credit and get out. I asked a few basic questions about a Pokemon deck, and ended up buying it. I never went back there, needless to say, and I never played Pokemon, partially because of my kid, though, which wasn't his fault. LOL.
Poor kid. You're the reason I don't play Pokemon anymore,
Fucking
buddy.
throws the kid under the bus right at the end of the story. Okay.
That's crazy, though. Do you have any like trade-in stories? Because I have a couple.
I've never really traded in a lot of my cards to stores. But
Smart. You shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're not going to give you like a good deal because they're looking to get cards to make a profit on it. But whenever I've sold cards or like traded in cards to like vendors, it's cards that I just didn't care about. So I just wanted to get value so that I could, you know, trade it in to like get cards I actually wanted. So I didn't care that I wasn't getting a good deal because I didn't want those cards anyway. So I was just like, you know what?
Yeah, I mean,
if I'm getting something out of it that I actually want, then so be it. I don't mind.
I think that's totally fair. Because I mean, that's the thing too. Because card shop. I was a teenager. I was trading in bulk and stuff to get money to buy cards that I wanted from them. I put all my cards out, and it was like thousands of, maybe not thousands, but it's probably hundreds of cards that the store owner, or not the store owner, but one of the employees was shuffling through, and he's going through, and he's pulling out cards that he's finding as he goes, and in the middle of it, he finds a misprint card. Now, I'm really, really new to cards, and I've never sold cards before. But I ended up selling that misprint card to the card shop and probably losing a lot of money in the process.
Oh, man.
So,
that sucks.
For those of you who know, it was a misprint Lightning Bolt in Magic, which is a very good card. So, that happened.
That's top tier.
That's one of the things is like, you go to the card shop and you make friends with the owners, the employees, but they are still there for a profit.
Yeah.
So there's a certain amount of, you need to make sure you are being careful about what you are giving them. And what is actually worth it. So probably would have made a lot more money if I had sold that, but I was like 15 years old. I didn't know.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I guess I remember, I don't know what came over me to do this, but I remember I bought a copy of, what was it? This was, I don't remember why I had this much money. I think I must have like had birthday money from like my grandma or something, but I bought from one of my friends on the playground a copy of XYZ Dragon Cannon for $20, which is not worth it, like, at all. I think this was like before I even like really like played Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, I think I hadn't even gone to like a card shop at this point. I just, you know, had cards and played on the playground with my friends, like, kind of thing. And yeah, I don't I don't know why I wanted this card so bad that I was just like, oh yeah, $20 for this like ultra rare card. That sounds like a thing that's real, right? And I don't think my deck could even summon it, so
no. That's the worst.
But I was just a very little guy at that point and didn't know shit about shit, so
yeah, I mean, that's how it goes, right? That's how it goes. Yeah, the card looked cool, you would have done the same thing. Exactly, card looks cool. I want it.
Yeah.
You do.
And I have this money, so I might as well spend it on something.
Yeah, it's true.
Nowadays, if I have to spend $20 on a single card, I'm just like, I'd rather die.
Yeah, it's like, I'd rather buy anything else, actually. Yeah. Thanks. Oh, man. All right.
Poffle says that she has an impromptu story. It was a cold winter's day in 2016. By the way, I am an incredibly handsome and radiate GigaChad energy. Also, my peanuts is huge, and I am able to pull like 50 girls every hour, and I'm really smart. Anyway, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! And then my mummy picked me up because I was a little cold. The end. No! No! You were cold! No! I hope that you got some hot chocolatey milk to warm you up.
Yeah, that's the best way. Warm chocolate milk. Yeah, but it's okay. Your mommy was there for you, and you were 24, right?
Yeah. You were 24 and scared. Or what was it? 24 and
Yeah,
terrified?
trembling. Yeah, I was
Trembling.
trembling.
Yeah.
Oh boy, the next one is really short and a doozy, all in the same. 25 even. 25.
Oh, damn.
All right. This one's short, sweet, and simple. I got told that my cleavage distracted my opponent, and that's why he lost.
Damn. Well, I mean, do what you gotta do, I guess, to get that W.
Yeah, I mean.
Dang.
Oh.
You girls, you have so many buffs.
Yeah,
You get free wins from cleavage, free cards. You get sexually harassed, and
yeah, you get
man,
accused for sexual favors.
right? Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So many.
It was you as your pecs.
Crazy.
Oh. yeah. Hasher, have you ever had that accused of you before?
Accused of having huge pecs.
Yeah, your cleavage was so distracting that your opponent lost.
You know, I haven't, but maybe I should try and employ that. That's a new strategy for me.
Yeah, just wear a low cut wife beater. I'm sure it'll distract your opponent.
Yeah, for sure. They won't be able to keep their eyes off.
Okay. So I mentioned I had a couple horror stories myself that were actually horror stories.
Uh-oh, okay. All right.
This one reminded me of it.
My body is ready.
Your pecs are ready. So I started playing D&D at my card shop because I was introduced to 5th edition through Adventurers League. And I met a couple people that were regulars at the store. At the time, I think I was, again, 15, 16 years old. And I was making friends and I was playing games with them. And I had one guy that I was friends with. Nice guy. I thought at the time it was really fun and I enjoyed playing D&D with him. And he was like, yeah, me and some other people, we run a BDSM RPG.
Whoa.
And it's really fun. Not
where I thought this story was going to go. All right.
But we know you're underage, but whenever you become of age, you should totally join us.
Oh my God. How about you just don't say anything until the person is of age? What?
So, I have had a couple instances of that. Unfortunately.
Wow.
But
this is the nerd version of, hey, me and my wife saw you from across the bar and we liked your vibe.
It is though. Yeah, chat, be really careful going to card shops. None of you should be underage, by the way. At this point, you shouldn't be.
Yeah, no one in chat should be underage. Right?
Right?
Exactly.
You guys are following the rules? But yeah, so that was an interesting experience, to say the least. I never got into contact about the BDSM game, so my loss, right?
Yeah, dang. Okay, that's unfortunate. That would have been a treasure trove of more stories, surely.
Yeah, I'm sure it would have been. Honestly.
So, stop being underage. Yeah, if you're underage, grow up.
Get out of here. Well, we have what, 3 more stories?
1, 2, 3, yeah. We do.
All right,
okay.
Would you like to read the next one?
I'll read the next one. All right. So, this was when I was playing Dragon Link. Warning, this story will probably be longer than Dragon Link full end-word combo. Okay, in parentheses, I'm not sorry. Looking back at this, it was funny as hell. You know what? You got a laugh out of me for that one, so W. It was an OTS championship weekend at my locals, and as I said, I was playing Dragon Link. Duh. Cool. All right.
Dwee.
My first couple of rounds was 1-1. Not too bad, I'm thinking. We get to round 3, and I'm going through my combo, and I get to special summoning Rocket Tracer. I say to my opponent, Rocket Tracer, pop boot sector launch, summoning Rocket Recharger. He says, all good. I pop the field spell, and am looking for my Recharger in deck. I couldn't find it. I checked 2 or 3 times through the deck and my deck box, wondering where the fuck's his Recharger. Like, in between rounds, Recharger had seemingly vanished. We get a judge call. I still had other Tracer targets I could go to instead with Rocket Caliber. He checks my list and Recharger is definitely on there and gives me a deck check. After the check, he says, normally, this would just be a game loss for not having the declared target in main, but some of your cards were also upside down, so I will have to upgrade this to a match loss. Ooh.
What?
Ooh, that's a little harsh. That's
crazy.
Mean, like, technically, yeah, you do have to have all of your cards, like, facing the same way, because that can be seen as, like, marking cards in your deck. But I don't know, man. Like, this is clearly, like, you know, like, yeah, the guy has like an illegal deck technically because they've misplaced a card, but I don't know, very harsh for the judge to upgrade this to making this a whole match loss. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, dude. That is. I guess it's like 2 offenses, but
yeah, but like, I don't know, like it's all obviously it's down to like the individual judge's discretion, but like you can kind of tell that, you know, like this is clearly like, you know, not a good situation for this person. They've misplaced a card and they're gonna get a penalty for it. If I'm the judge, I don't go, hey, you've also like got this like violation that I've noticed that, you know, might not be intentional. So like if that's me, I'm not gonna be like, listen, this is like 2 like infractions at once, so I'm gonna upgrade it. I just like I would just be like, hey, put all your cards like the same way up in your deck, and you know, like just
go next, go to the next game.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's also unfortunate that you declared what you wanted to summon before actually doing it, because that is not.
Oh, is that something not something you should do?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's not something that you need to do because it doesn't target the card in your deck that you're about to summon. All you're doing on the activation of that effect is, I don't even know if you target the boot sector launch. I think you do target the card that you're going to destroy with Rocket Tracer, but summoning something happens at the resolution of the effect. So you don't even need to say like, oh, I'm going to pop boot sector launch and I'm going to summon Rocket Recharge. You just go Tracer effect, target boot sector launch. Response.
I see.
So
and then you search. Yeah,
and then so if you had done that in this situation, you would have gone through your deck and you would have been like, shit, Recharger isn't in here. I guess I'll summon the Rocket Caliber instead, and then like later on look for the Recharger. Yeah, and then the opponent wouldn't have anything to call you up on. Although I guess like technically that's not being like 100% honest. Like if you were 100% honest, you'd be like, hey, one of my cards is missing, which means I have an illegal deck.
Yeah.
So we should probably call a judge. So I mean, yeah, like it is. It's unfortunate that you kind of like got yourself into this situation. But if you're being 100% honest, then you probably should have. Like either way, you call a judge over. Just lie you're in round 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sucky situation. Kind of a dick move by the judge, though, I think.
Agreed.
So the story goes on to say, my opponent and I agree to just play the game as friendly instead. And as we agree to run it as a friendly, my previous round opponent taps me on the back and says, I found this on the floor. Is it yours? Guess what card it was? None other
Oh.
than Rocket Recharger. My opponent and I end up dying with laughter because what are the chances? I don't think I've been so mad but so relieved at the same time. P.S. Free Borload Savage, Baron, the Guard Dragons, and Eclipse Wyvern. We can be trusted, Konami. Smile.
Winky face.
Yeah. That... I honestly, I don't know if I would laugh in that situation. I'd be pissed, dude.
Yeah, I mean, at least it wasn't like stolen.
Yeah.
But it does suck. I mean, I wonder if it's one of those situations where maybe the locals, and this is me like totally speculating and I could be completely wrong, but if you are like in such a rush to get between matches that you drop your cards and like you lose a card, it feels a little tight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I'm just like crazy tinfoil hatting it over here, but I feel like you should have enough time between rounds that you don't accidentally like drop your cards. Maybe as well, maybe someone's a little bit more disorganized. I would probably drop my cards regardless, but
I mean,
I think
it happens sometimes. Sometimes you'll like misplace a card. It does happen. We're human, you know.
yeah, it's for real. I think it is like it's a tough situation. I definitely think the judge was too harsh. As well, like it doesn't really explain maybe why the cards were two different, like were upside down.
No, like the two things kind of have nothing to do with each other.
Right.
It's like I guess you must have like shuffled a couple of cards into the deck like upside down and just didn't notice it. But yeah, technically you do kind of have to have all of your at least all of your sleeves facing the same way so that
Yeah.
like, you can't be pulled up on like potentially like marking your cards in your deck by turning the ones that you want to know what they are like upside down. You know what I mean?
Wait. There was actually something really important that we missed from the story.
Oh?
It was round 3.
Yes.
It was round 3, and they made them lose the entire match? And so, I mean, I guess it wouldn't have mattered because they would have lost the match anyways.
No.
Right?
They're saying they've played 2 matches already, and this is the 3rd match.
Oh, they're playing the 3rd match. Oh
Yeah,
my god,
yeah,
not
yeah.
game 3.
This is like the 3rd round of Swiss is what they're talking about.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay, yeah. Never mind. I'm confusing my phrases, my words here.
Yeah, like technically what round it is isn't really relevant to
True.
like other than
Yeah.
the fact that they've played some Swiss rounds before and a card has gone missing in between rounds.
Fair. You know what this would remind me of, though? There is a Magic ruling that this reminded me of. There was a card. This was back at like I don't know if this was Worlds or when it was, but it was like a high-tier tournament. Someone declared a card, and they said, okay, I think they were searching for a specific card, and they said, okay, I'm searching for Borborygmos, or however the hell you say it.
I know this story.
And the opponent's like, okay, you're searching for Borborygmos. And so they find a card, but their opponent's like, no, wait, that says Borborygmos Enrage. That's not Borborygmos. But like, the context is that the original Borborygmos is not played in Standard. It was like probably mutually understood that they meant Borborygmos Enrage. But they said Borborygmos.
Yeah,
and
I remember this. It was it wasn't like that they were searching for it. The opponent played basically for any of our
Pithing Needle, I think.
Yeah, Pithing Needle, yeah, which is essentially Prohibition for any Yu-Gi-Oh heads in chat. The opponent basically said Prohibition Blackluster Soldier. Fully knowing that they meant Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the Beginning. However, since there is a card called Blackluster Soldier, the opponent was able to be like angle shoot and be like, you only said Blackluster Soldier, so I'm going to play my Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the Beginning because that's a different card.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a crazy situation. I think they updated after that event. They updated the policy documents
Yeah.
to be like so, something to the effect of like, oh, if it's understood like what card people are talking about, that's what you go by, not exactly what you say.
Yeah, exactly. I think that is exactly what happened. Is they changed the
Yeah.
ruling. This was like 5+ years ago at this point too. So like it's been oh god 10+ years. Either way, it's been like a thing that's changed the rules for a while now. But yeah, that was a crazy way to lose. Yeah, you only said Droll, so I'm going to use Droll and Lockbird.
Cross out designator declaring Ash. Actually,
Yeah.
that means Snake Eyes Ash. Yeah, sort of. It's it's weird. It it would be like, oh, I'm going. It's a weird one where like you have to like declare a card like in advance,
Mm.
and then it's like not quite the same name. So like you say,
I mean, I
oh,
guess that's
like you Prohibition Stardust Dragon, and then
uh-huh.
your opponent plays Stardust Dragon, Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon, and that's the one that you like meant, but technically there is
Mhm.
a Stardust Dragon that's just called Stardust Dragon, and then it's like a whole thing. So you have to be clear about like which one you mean, but you don't need to know the full name, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's I guess the benefit of Master Duel. You have to type in the one and then choose the specific one you want.
Yeah.
But you know,
Or like just communicate with your opponent and be like, "Hey, which one do you mean?" But, you
right?
know, if
Like,
you're a
oh, it's the
Magic
card that
player
does
looking to
this.
get a slight advantage because of a misunderstanding, then you just don't ask
Yeah,
that.
yeah, because you're trying to make hundreds of thousands of dollars or
Right,
whatever the hell that
exactly.
was it for. So yeah, it goes all the way back to prizing changes how the game is played.
Don't ask me to
So
name a Mitsurugi card. Yeah, me and Ancient Warriors cards too. I'm like, I don't know the names
right.
of those guys. The freaking blue one. I don't know.
Oh man. Yeah, fun times? I don't know. I don't know. We got a couple more here though. All right. You ready for the next one?
I am ready.
All right. So this one says, not a super salacious story, but some people might find it relatable. And I want to say that the guy I'm going to talk about seemed like an all right dude when not in the middle of a game of Yu-Gi-Oh. You know the type.
Mm-hmm.
At my local board game shop, we have a small Yu-Gi-Oh event every week, like 8 people max. There are 4 to 5 regulars, including myself, that go nearly every week to play. There's a guy that has been playing Yu-Gi-Oh in the area for a long time, and I feel confident in saying he only loosely understands the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay, fair. He constantly tries to take back actions or change what card he has added to his hand after anyone else chains interruption. Ooh, that's really pushing it though.
Mm, there's asking to take back plays, but asking to take back a play after someone has like already like chained something to it, like that's something different. Like
Yeah, that's entirely different. That is like I am actively cheating because I know how you're going to respond.
yeah, like, oh, you had bottomless trap hole. Actually, I don't normal summon my 1800 attack monster. I summon a 1200 attack monster instead. Like, no, that's not how that works, dude.
Yeah, at that point you'd say no takesy backsies. Exactly.
Uh-huh.
All right, back to the story. Sometimes trying to take several moves back. Oh, several.
Ooh, yeah, that's
Also,
tough.
he does not understand how chaining effects work, nor understands basic rules like tribute summoning being a normal summon. Okay, I have to stop again. Does he not know, or does he pretend to not know?
Hmm.
Because at this
That's a good
point, it
question.
feels like this is intentional. Because the next line says, so he also seems to not understand activation orders or chain blocking. He will misunderstand effects he's seen 100 times. Sometimes feeling like it's on purpose. Yeah, there it is. Sometimes feeling like it's on
Yeah,
purpose.
yeah, dude. Like at some point you have to think that it's on purpose to get an advantage for sure.
Yeah, like you can't always benefit of the doubt your way out of this.
Yeah.
Giving the feeling that Yu-Gi-Oh is a single player game to him, where his opponents are NPCs despite seeing the same people every week. Ah, Also, he'll bother you to trade him cards he needs and to ignore your card's value? Wait.
Okay.
But when you want to trade for one of his cards, he obsesses over the value.
Oh my, yeah, this dude has like total main character syndrome. What the fuck?
Absolutely. Recently, he's gotten way worse. Like 2 weeks ago, we went to a draw after he said, "I'm not worried about what you're playing." He seemed distraught and even played slow, going first in round 3, looking at the timer constantly. Okay, no, this is just intentional. He plays Deception of the Sinful Spoils deep into his turn, says that since I used Ash Blossom prior to that point, I take 1,500.
What? That's
I
not
laugh
how
out
that
loud
works.
at him.
What?
I laugh out loud at him because obviously that is not how that card works at all.
Oh, they said
He
that.
then
Okay.
banishes. Yeah. He then banishes the card I have on field and he rereads his Deception twice, trying to justify the effect that says it has to go to graveyard and he needs an Azumina on field. He finally has to accept that we tie in my draw phase and goes, "I don't like to tie. Let's rock, paper, scissors." Oh, shut up,
my
bro.
God.
I laugh again saying, "We've been dueling for over a year and you have never tried this. Is there something wrong? Let's go side and talk." But this is a tie game. We both went 2-0-1 and he got first anyways. Oh my god. But he wouldn't stop complaining, saying I play a toxic deck. Apparently my Mimighoul deck is too toxic for him to deal with while he is just attempting to cheat. I don't want him to stop coming. You're a nice guy. He is legit passionate about Yu-Gi-Oh, but our local scene would improve if he had to sit down and relearn Yu-Gi-Oh by playing his decks in Master Duel.
Oh my god. Wow, that's crazy. Your Mimighoul is it's too toxic of a deck, that Mimighoul deck, but my Azumina deck on the other hand.
yeah. With my Sinful Spoils.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah, this this is just an insufferable person. Like, I don't know what else to say about that. I hate when people slow play too.
Yeah, I need to get back into trying more tournament stuff, but I have nothing to say to this. This is just okay. I do have something to say to this actually.
Oh yeah.
You get people like this sometimes, like in any game you play, where they're just like, actually no, never mind. I take that back. Or your deck is really toxic because I lost to you. And it's just like, yeah, you're right. I'm so sorry that my Dark Magician deck is really toxic and I beat you. Next game?
Yeah,
it's
real.
just like, it's that, there was another story that reminded me of this that was like, oh, I think is the totally not owner story with the Chaos Max being a floodgate.
Yeah.
Every card that beats me is a floodgate.
Yeah, dude, like honestly this whole thing screams of like narcissism. Like, I can't possibly lose. I have to take back plays because I wouldn't make those plays because they're bad plays, and also your deck is toxic and I deserve to win, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And then he still wins anyway.
Yeah, that's the craziest part. He's like, let's not tie. Ties suck. Let's play rock, paper, scissors and see who wins the game. And it's like, no. No.
Yeah.
That's just,
Yeah, dude, I hate when people like when they know when there's like not a lot of time left, they start playing slow, or they'll like attempt to intentionally misunderstand one of their cards that they've been playing, like they've been playing it correctly for like they've already been playing that card and they've been playing it correctly, and then they play like another copy of it, but they intentionally don't do it quite right to like try to like soft cheat. And if they like don't get like called out on it, then they'll just like take it, you know?
mm-hmm. Yeah, it's there are all kinds. It's unfortunate though.
Yeah, yeah. I
It's
think
like one
I
of
think
those things.
we know a person like this, unfortunately.
I think we've all had, and that's what they said. It's
Yeah.
like this isn't a super salacious story, but we all have been there. This is pretty relatable. I think
Mhm.
the thing that sucks the most though is like I've been there. Like this is a really small, like locals, and you don't want the guy to leave because he's keeping the locals alive. We're friends. You should not be doing this.
Yeah, I totally
Also,
agree.
I glanced at the next one, the last one. Oh, Hasher, is this a
Oh.
doozy?
All right. Okay, well,
I
this next one is gonna be our last submitted story. I don't know if you have any other stories that you want to like end off
oh,
on after this one, but
we'll
I
see.
guess
We'll
we'll
see.
see.
Maybe
We'll
this will
see.
spark something
Yeah.
in me.
Oh, before we
Ooh,
read
we
this
have a
one,
fest.
Nia Luigi, I'll fess up. This was my story. Can I tell one detail I left out? Game 2, I banished a card with Fenrir, and he left it on field face down after I told him multiple times it was banished if it was on field.
No! Oh
What?
my god.
What?
No, that's crazy.
That's so stupid. I banish your card face down with Fenrir. Okay,
You don't
I
banish
put
it.
it face down, but I keep it on my board. What? Huh?
Do
That's
you have
so
a judge at
stupid.
your local? Like, at that point, just call a judge. Be like, excuse me, my opponent doesn't understand that this is supposed to be banished face down.
That's so weird.
That
That is so
that is
strange.
really weird.
How irregular. All right. Okay,
All right,
let's
last
read the
submitted
final
story.
story. All right. This is a real story. 2 years ago, I was playing against the Destiny board player who
The
decided
Destiny
to.
board.
Yes, the Destiny board player. They were playing against the real Ryubakura. Ryobakura.
Yeah.
From Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. The Destiny board player who decided to have a real Ouija board as a playmat, and a pretty old
Based.
one at that. At first, I thought it was pretty cool. He was even using one of the cards as a planchette. I thought it was all fun and games until it's his turn. He draws and leaves the card he was using as the planchette in his spell and trap zone. No hand is touching the card, and that card starts to move on its own. It spells out murdered. About 6 of us saw, me and my opponent and the other 4 guys sitting on either side of this playing. Next thing we know, we all see is the lights start flickering on and off. At this point, everybody's freaking out. There's 2 guys almost in tears, and then the Ouija board gets thrown by itself, landing about 5 feet away. A lot of people left after that. The owner actually tells us that when he bought the building, it used to be apartments, and the story was that some guy sexually abused a woman and killed her, and that she's known to haunt the building. The guy had a grim face, a grim on his face. What? A grim. Okay, anyway, me and a lot of people did not return to that game shop, and there was a new rule: no Ouija boards. That's insane.
Oh yeah, that's just Mary. Oh, a grim look on his face. Yeah, they missed the word look.
Okay, wow. Yeah, all right. That definitely happened, and that was real and true. And I don't know. It was totally definitely real, and yeah. I saw Principal Skinner and Miss Grabopple in the closet making babies, and I saw one of the babies, and one of the babies looked at me.
Okay, my favorite part about this though is the fact that they did not return to the game shop, but then they knew that there was a new rule that no Ouija boards were allowed.
I mean, that's a good rule, probably. I mean, you know, if this happened, then I think that is a pretty decent response. No Ouija boards allowed going forward. We don't want that to happen again.
We don't, as Grace said, we don't want Mary talking to people here. Stop, Mary. It's not the time.
Yeah, Mary, stop trying to backseat me. I'm doing my full combo right now. You died in 2016. All you know is freaking Boojin, all right?
Only Wario boards allowed. Oh, God.
The Luigi board.
Luigi.
No Luigi boards.
Oh, God. Gregnant. Yeah. Oh, my God.
So the best part about this story is that it was real and true and definitely factual. But I appreciated it. It you know what? It was actually written in a very like engaging way. So I think this is a great one to end on.
And honestly, great way to wrap it up. An actual locals horror story. Factual as well, I'm sure.
A real lived experience of someone from chat.
Really fun. Honestly, I think just the thought of having someone having a Ouija board as their playmat is pretty cool.
I think that's pretty sick, actually.
Yeah, that's a really fun idea. Although as soon as we start using a card as a planchette, I'm sure a judge would be called for like moving zones without,
Well, I just assumed it was like a card. Like they you know how like you put your hand face down on the board when it's not your turn. I figured it was just that. Like it was a card that's technically in hand, and they were just like moving it around like face down.
Oh, maybe that is true.
Honestly, I did get a little bit bamboozled. I thought this was going to be a cheating story because when they said like, oh, they left a card on the board face down, I thought that it was going to go on to be like the dude tried to tell me that like, no, the card was definitely always on the board, and lo and behold, it was like the one trap card that would like win in this situation or some shit like that. But no, it took a sharp right turn from that moment.
Okay, but imagine it was like a cheating situation where it's like, oh, the card moves on its own and it just moves to the perfect zone. It's like, oh yeah, Imperm was in that column the entire time.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, true. Yeah. The real question, man. What was that lying board guy playing? He was the Destiny board player.
Yeah, the Destiny board player.
Yeah, so I'm assuming he was playing Destiny board. That's just my best guess.
Wait. I really should have been sober when I wrote this, not high off my ass retelling this story.
What do you mean retelling this story as if it actually happened?
Oh.
You were not recalling this from the recesses of your brain, mind, okay? You weren't retelling this. The only way you were retelling this is if you had told this story before. Swear to God. Oh, my bad, bro. Now I believe you.
I mean, yeah. I think, a fun story. Regardless, a very fun story.
Yeah, I will give you that. It was actually a really fun one.
I like it a lot. It makes me want to start bringing a Ouija board as my playmat. That's sick.
Honestly, that'll give you a like max aura, I think.
I think so. I mean, it's like the guy that brings the sushi mat when he plays
sushi. Yeah, I was gonna bring that up actually. Exactly.
Like, you gotta dress for what you're playing. If you're playing Destiny board, you bring a Ouija board as a playmat, and then you're wearing, like, the full-on fortune teller garb, and you bring, like, a crystal ball, and you have, like, tarot cards as your sleeves or something. Like, I am all in this, bro. You light some incense.
Yeah, you should commit to the bit and be like, I predict you will lose this game in 2 turns or something
Yeah,
like that.
every the beginning of every turn, you just flip a card, like a tarot card, and you're like, fate is not looking in your favor, my friend.
Yes. The infinite impermanence in upright position. This bodes well for me.
Oh my god. Oh, well, there was one. Wasn't there a story that we got that was like, it was the narrative one that was like, it seemed like a shadow game because they had been there and they're like, you never officially left the game.
Oh, yeah, that one was funny.
That was fun. You could do that. I could do that. I wish Destiny board was playable. I would do that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. I gotta play my my final card, not my death card, my final card.
Mhm.
Yeah, this was really fun. This is a really fun idea. It's made me think of some fun things that we need to try. And I think Rio said we should try this again at some point. I definitely
yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
This was so much fun.
I think also now that people understand what we were kind of like looking for in terms of like submissions as well, like we'll probably it probably will get more people to get involved.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think even being in like the adjacent ones, like the fighting game story, I think it was totally like appropriate.
Yeah, I
just
I
like
enjoyed
hobby.
That. Yeah.
Just like hobby stuff. Oh, that does actually remind me. One small anecdote that reminded me of. The whole reason I got into Magic was because you remember good old Steve?
Steve from Minecraft. Yep. Okay.
And Steve from Minecraft was in. There was a video game club at my high school, and he had commandeered the entire club, like entirely half of the population of the club, into playing Magic instead of playing video games.
That's pretty based.
Aura, I guess.
Yeah.
So, you had a fighting game one, but you didn't want to submit because it wasn't card or game or tabletop related. I think just being hobby related, like fighting game stories, I think were totally relevant.
Yeah,
is this bad? No.
I guess like naming it locals horror stories maybe like didn't sell it.
Yeah, maybe hobby horror stories.
Yeah,
but even but I guess hobbies could also be like, oh, my doll painting profession.
Yeah, but I would want to hear about that. If there's drama in the doll painting community, I want to know about it.
Me too, actually. Please tell me about the time you got scammed for buying a repainted Monster High doll.
Yeah, I think that would be sick. Yeah,
honestly.
I like locals horror stories is just like a name that I felt like rolled off the tongue, but I guess it does sort of like carry some weight as like, oh, we really just want stories that happened at a local game store, which we in the like description we said, oh, it doesn't have to be like
I guess it's kind of like
limited to that, but yeah. Next time,
hobby horror stories.
Hobby horror stories, I think, is probably the best way.
Because I could share my my horror stories with model horses.
Model horses?
Yes. I was one of those kids.
Like hobby horses?
No, like replica, like I don't know, 1/16 size. No, that's too,
like
that's
actual
like
models. I see. Okay.
Yeah. I was in that scene for like a decade.
Wow. Okay. I want to hear about that.
No, there's like whole stories about it because people would show their model horses. Next time, chat. Next time. Do you still have them? I still have some of them. I do.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Next time, hobby horror stories, and we will extend it to like models.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll have to think if I have any more stories about Albaz, and I guess about about non-Albaz stories too. But
Hobby
I'm
horror
sure.
story. I broke a tiny piece of my gunpla. Oh no!
No, terrible.
It was in your shoe, super glued together. Now your Gridman has a loose part. Let's go. At least you found it. Let's go. And that's like losing Lego pieces too. That stinks. Oh, Lego hobby. Okay, anyways. We need to wrap this up eventually. As much as fun as this was. Oh man. I do like we should do like writing prompts at some point. That sounds like so much fun too.
Yeah, for sure.
I really like having because there's like art people do like art competitions, but I don't think anyone's ever done like writing competitions.
Not that I've heard of, no.
So like, I don't know. Think about it, Chad. Think about it.
Yeah, that would be fun. And I guess if y'all want me to do more dramatic readings of stuff, then I guess I'll just have to let you guys let me know what you want me to read.
Yeah. Absolutely. We need to think about that cuz like October is quickly approaching. It's 5 months away. That's less than half a year.
Oh my god, don't even say that. I still think that it's like a few weeks into 2025 in my brain. I can't believe we're already like in May.
It's okay, Hasher. You know what I did today?
What'd you do?
I took down my Halloween decorations.
Oh my god! It is closer to the next Halloween. You might as well just leave them up at this point.
Hey, I gotta get my summer stuff up. I gotta have like it's gotta be an event to put up the Halloween decorations. You know?
Yeah, understandable.
But anyways, this is really fun. I really appreciate you contacting me to do this because I really, really enjoyed this.
Me too. I don't really know like what all like gave me the idea for it, but it came to me in a dream, except it wasn't a dream. It was maybe a daydream. It is what brought it
shower
to me.
thoughts.
Yeah, shower thoughts. I was showering, which is a thing that a lot of you in chat should definitely do. And I was just like, hey, you know what? This would be a really cool thing to do with Vixie. This would be, I think this would go awesome.
This was so much fun.
Yeah,
it was. It did go awesome, and I hope you guys in chat enjoyed it too, because there might be more sometime in the future. In a dream, he was told, "Seek the trauma events of others to share." Oh my god! Oh, so good. Well, Hasher, do you have anything to share or announce that you're going to be doing soon before we break it off?
Not anything huge or massive on the horizon. I'll be streaming some Dice Rally tomorrow. That's fun.
Let's go!
Yeah.
Yeah. I will be doing Magic tomorrow, so if you guys have more Magic stories to share. But yeah, other than that, I think that is all that's really going on. Apparently my air conditioner is fixed now, so that's good.
That is good. It is getting to that time of year where you're going to need that.
Yeah, I'm glad. But thanks so much for inviting me. Thank you so much for the idea, Hasher. Thanks so much for joining us. If you guys
thanks for joining
haven't already, please make sure to go give Hasher a follow. We like the Dino Boy. We love the Dino Boy. It's always so much fun to hang out, and I'm glad to have you back streaming.
Aw, thank you. And likewise, chat over here, if you haven't followed Vixie, you should do that. You should rectify your mistake of not having already done it.
Yeah, go follow Hasher right now or you're banned.
Go follow No Fox Forgiven at twitch.tv/NoFoxForgiven or you're a rotten egg.
Yeah, there you go. Also, I don't know if you're going to keep the VOD up, but I will definitely have the VOD up on my YouTube channel. So if you guys missed anything, you can always watch the YouTube video back. And if you guys have more stories, save them. We will probably do this again at some point.
Yeah, I will definitely be keeping the VOD up for sure.
Let's go. All right, though, everyone. Thanks so much for being here, Hasher. Yeah. I will catch you around and hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. We'll definitely do this again soon.
Absolutely.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. You too. Do you want to raid out together?
Yeah, why not? Do you got anyone in mind?
I think Plushie went live.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, you guys want to go send your love to Plushie playing some Master Duel? I think doing some viewer duels. So go tell Plushie that she's playing a toxic deck, and I'm joking. Alright.
What's the full channel name? I don't know if I'm following, actually.
Plushie Bell.
Plushie Bell. Got it.
All right, though, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. And go follow Hasher and go give your support to Plushie. And we hope to see you both. We both hope to see you all tomorrow.
Hell yeah. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much for hanging out.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Goodbye.
All right, chat. Do we have a raid message? I forget. Do we have one of these? Oh, there you go. Go ahead and use one of those. Hashixie raid? Oh, that's also really good. Yeah, we'll do that. Hashixie raid? Kind of love that. Foxer Brown, also a good one. But yeah, alright. Chat, copy and paste, whatever raid message you want to, and I'll see you tomorrow for some Dice Rally. Bye-bye!